Boxing. I'm with Mr. Oosh himself. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
You're here at the presser with us?
Yeah, I'm home. I'm home. Big fight week ahead. Pierce O'Leary and Mark Chamberlain. You know.
You're a big, massive fan. So
yeah,
you're known for your impressions. So let's play an impressions game. I'm going to give you some names, and you're going to spit off some one-liners.
Absolutely.
Okay. Are you ready? This is off the cuff, by the way. He doesn't know the names or nothing. So this is for sure, for real. This is the talent of the guy. Right, we're going to start off. Tyson Fury.
I'll tell you what, very good to be here in Dublin. Very good. I was supposed to be fighting here on Saturday night, but instead I decided to fight in Thailand. That was it. AJ, I'll tell you what, delighted he got through in that second round. I'll tell you what, the first round, I was very, very nervous, to be honest with you. But he got through it. And you and me, AJ, gear top. 14th of November, 7th of November, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care, really, to be honest with you. I fight him now.
Next one, Eddie Hearn.
Well, listen, you know what, it's a massive fight. And you've got Pierce O'Leary and Mark Chamberlain this weekend, absolutely huge. And Katie Taylor is going to, she's sold out Croke Park. It's absolutely mesmerising. It's incredible. That's Jay Byrne there. That's a great guy, by the way.
Right, next one, John Fury.
I tell you what, I love being in Dublin. Great place, full of great people, and I love the boxing scene in Dublin. You've got a man behind the camera there, JB Promotions. He's doing all the work here. He's laying the groundwork. He deserves all the credit in the world. And all the tourists are thinking, what the fuck is that man saying?
Next one, Iron Mike Tyson.
Man, you know, it is what it is. I love Big Bang O'Leary. Big Bang Pierce O'Leary, he's the man, you know. And let me tell you something, he do Sarah Street proud. We did an interview with him in Sarah Street. And we had everybody coming up to, we had all of his friends and all that. It was amazing, man.
Last one, Chris Eubanks Sr.
Yes, this place is familiar to me. Very, very familiar. Of course. Now, obviously, this is Dublin. I've been to Dublin a couple of times, but I fought down in Cork, in Mill Street. Cork.
Oh, yes.
Cork is also the home of the great and no-nonsense footballer Roy Keane. Some say he's a national hero, isn't he? This man wanted Roy Keane.
Yeah, of course. What are you texting on your phone for? All right. Yeah, looking forward to the boxing on the weekend. It should be a bit of fun. Listen, do me a favour.
Oi, God bless. Thank you so much. Can you give a shout out to my channel,
Yes.
Boxing Bros UK?
Boxing, as who? I gotta do.
As whoever you want.
Hey, this is Robert De Niro, and you gotta subscribe to Boxing Bros UK, huh? When are you gonna get a US channel? Get a US channel. That'd be great. We'd love that. That'd be tremendous. Really good. Who did I do there?
Oh, God bless you, man. Thank you, my bro.
Yeah, this is going out to Boxing Bros UK. Tune in. These boys are real.
Hello, everybody. Boxing Bros UK here. I am Hiss the Boss Chris, Andrew the Boxing Brain,
Bosh.
and guest, legendary Irish boxer Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Thank you for your time.
How are you, lads?
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good. It's an honour to have you on the show. This man has fought the who's who of middleweight boxing. You have fought everybody. The biggest stages. And you know what the best thing is about you? You're still a normal human being. Like you're just like one of the lads. Like I feel like we can go down the pub for a beer. We can hang out together. Like you're not above you don't act like you are better than everybody else because you've not better, but you've achieved so much. To be a fighter, professional, is such a great thing, especially at your level, and that your persona, the way you are, is absolute class, and it's a testament to you. And you've been this way. I've watched a few other podcasts from like 10 years ago, and you're still the same guy, humble, respectful, and treat everyone and give everyone a time of day. And it's great. You're a great man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll never change. I'll never ever change, no matter what. And if I was there with you, I'd go for a pint, no problem, 100%.
Bless you.
What's that from? Is that like your upbringing? Is that like your mum and dad? Just like always be yourself, always treat others like you want to be treated, kind of stuff. Or is it just you?
Yeah, I think so. Well, my parents were like that anyway. They were always helping people out and being nice to people. Really, the majority of the time, unless it got into a bit of an argument or something, they could flip over a bit. But in general, just be nice to everybody. But I guess I'm when I'm thinking about it right now, as I'm saying, like probably a bit like that myself. I sometimes, fucking, get a bit of temper, I have a bit of a temper, and but the majority of the time, if people are nice to me, I'm always nice to them, and I feel like I'm nothing special. I'm the same as everybody else, and boxing's my job, and that's just my job.
Well, Andrew, take it away, man. Thank you, man. Great, man.
So I've got a few questions. So we got to start with your origin, Spike, with a name, because I read a couple of reports. One story said it was your dad that named your baby Spike, who's some superhero themed thing.
From Gremlins. Do you like the film Gremlins? Is it from that?
I'm not too familiar with Gremlins, the film, but how it actually happened was a friend of my father's. My father was in the Irish Army, and a friend of his from the army came around to the maternity hospital and called me Baby Spike, and it just stuck to me. Before I left the hospital, I was known as Baby Spike or Spike or whatever. But it's not a real common name, so they didn't christen me Spike, christen me Gary, and there's where the Gary Spike comes from.
Oh,
got ya.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So on to the next one. You had a very interesting career, I think. Like Chris said in the intro, you fought the who's who, but before that, I think probably fair to say you're in a continental title against a real up. I think he was 25 at the time when he up and coming Antoine Douglas, and he seemed to disappear. I don't know what you done to him, Spike. I think you beat him so badly he disappeared for 6 years. Came back, I think, fought once more. He's only 33 now. Never fought again. So I think you've done a job on him, Spike, didn't you?
Tired him.
Funny enough, I still kind of stay in contact with him a bit. I think I've got a couple of messages on Instagram from him right now. I didn't get into Instagram for about around a year, and I'm trying to get through all the messages. I've got so many messages to get back to, and I know I've got a couple from him. And as I say, I'm still in contact with him. Look, to be honest, he's probably the better boxer than me and whatever. But I like to say one of my favorite sayings is "Hunger is a great sauce." At the time I was living with my mother-in-law, my 2 children, my partner. We were living in a small room, really, between the 4 of us, and I knew it was a big opportunity for me if I could beat Anton Douglas. It was on a Golden Boy card, a big pro on HBO. I don't think he ever stood a chance of beating me. I was fighting for my family to try and get him a house, and I think they could have put Tyson Fury in there that night. He wouldn't have beat me. I had to win, and I did.
When you've got that hunger, like. Before, when you're hungry on the way up, people are always more dangerous then. It's like Marvin Hagler said. When you're sleeping on silk sheets, it's hard to fight and have that hunger. No matter how much hard you try, you ain't got it. You ain't got it there.
What's that saying we all love though, boys? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think it's such a true saying. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't fancy it under the lights or whatever, and the other guys got because that night, Spike, you just seemed to have the dog in you. You were just closing down. He was very, very flashy boxer. He had some lovely jabs, but I think you just wouldn't be denied. I watched it again today, and you were just like hunting him down the whole time. And I think you could just tell from the first round you were going to get to him at some point, and I think you knew it.
Yeah, I guess. Do you know what? I'm just looking out the window here as I'm speaking to you, and it's a regular occurrence in Cork where I live. The piss and rain, the wet, fucking cold, dark evenings, and I was fighting him in December, and I remember preparing obviously through November and December, and I always remember I'd be tired in the evening times, and I'd purposely in my mother-in-law's house put my shorts and my t-shirt on the bed, and I'd want to get into bed because I'd be tired. I feel like getting into bed, but I never did once. So I just put on those shorts, that t-shirt, went to this hill that's not so far away from where I live. I actually I don't live far from my mother-in-law now, but I've been using that hill since 2017 when I started training for him. I done hill sprints, and I remember the weather was so bad, it was so discouraging, and I never wanted to do it. It was tough, obviously, running up the steep hill. But I remember looking across the ring at him that night, and I was thinking, because he was training somewhere nice, like somewhere like probably Florida, somewhere
Marbella,
somewhere nice anyway. And I was thinking, I remember looking across the ring thinking, you were running up those fucking hills, the freezing cold nights in Cork. You're not going to be as hard as me. You haven't trained as hard as me, etc. And just between that and the want to provide for my family, basically, I feel as though he couldn't beat me. That's what I felt on the night.
Because you said that, it's like when your family's involved, Like we're both family men. Like you think I'm gonna die and you've got nothing. Like you're gonna have to kill me before I'm winning this fight, no matter what, or I will die here. And when you've got that kind of desire, it can't be denied.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of
family.
You know, when my father said to me when I was fighting Ruslan Lara for the WBA middleweight world title, my dad said to me he was going back to another fight. That was the fight against Anthony Fitzgerald, but the hatred was genuine. You know, everything you've ever seen in my career, I can tell you this. I can put my hand on my heart and tell you it's all been 100% genuine. You know, I fucking hated the guy proper. And actually, I remember the commentators saying in the commentary, which was they were very inaccurate. They said, you know, they didn't think there was like a genuine rivalry there. They thought it was a bit because I shouldered them before the fight, and they were a bit taken aback. They were like, oh, fuck, they weren't expecting that. But I fucking hated the cunt so much. I wanted to really fucking kill him, to be honest. I wanted to beat him up. I would have fucking, oh man. And I've told him that since, and we've actually become friends, which is mental. And he texts me most weeks now. He usually gives me a WhatsApp, and it's one of those sex noises like,
Character though, isn't he?
He's a fucker. But we get on very well now, and he's always trying to catch me out and prank me, the fucker. But anyway, yeah. Well, sorry. What I was going to go off on a tangent there. What I was alluding to was my father said to me, he said, Spike, he said, well, can you not get into the frame of mind that you were in for the Fitzgerald fight? You really want to fucking kill him, and you were like a savage in the ring. Can you not like replicate that and do the same to Lara? But I said to my dad, you know, I said I can't do that, Dad. It's everything in me is just it's true stuff. I couldn't make believe that Lara was a fucking prick, that he was this, he was that. I'm going to kill him. You know, I don't even know if he speaks English. So fuck's sake, I was meant to hate the dude. You know,
and
so I couldn't get into that frame of mind.
And Lara's style's not very fan friendly, is it? So when
that's an understatement, Chris.
Yeah, when someone's got that kind of style, it's kind of hard to get up for it. If someone's not sticking on you, hitting you, hurting you, and they're tapping you and running away, you're probably falling asleep in there while you're fighting him.
Well, it's probably why, like, because he's had a very kind of like self-preservation. I mean, he's in a unified world title against Janibek, isn't he? What is he, 41? I think he's 40. He was the same age as you, Spike.
I'll ask you this, Spike. So that when that fight got made, I'm picking Lara to win. I am. I'm picking him to win. Lara. I'm picking Lara to beat Janibek.
Yeah, against Janibek, you're picking him to win. Yeah.
I don't know. I think to be honest, I think he mightn't win. No, I think he's on the slide. To be honest, I think he was actually on the slide as well against me. I don't think it was the best he's been when he beat me. But the honest truth is, I've always struggled against southpaws. I remember I fought Billy Joe Saunders in 2013. I said to my manager, I said to my coach, I said, look, I'm never fucking fighting a southpaw again unless it's for a world title. And it's not just the fight itself; it's the preparation. Like you're sparring 2-3 days a week. You're getting beaten up basically in the gym because I fucking struggled with the southpaws. And every day in the gym, you're just dreading going to the gym for sparring. I fucking hate it. Anyway, my coach rung me up. He said, Spike, I know you said you wouldn't fight a southpaw, but it is for a world title. Will you fight Ruslan Lara? I said, okay, fuck it, I'll fight him. You know, I'll give it a go. You know, I trained my fucking arse off as much as I could for that fight, so hard, but just ultimately, wasn't good enough. Basically, southpaw is too good for me. I think it's a big advantage being a left-hander. Only 90% of our right-sided of the world. You know,
it's no shame because the thing with Lara is he's had that middleweight title for like nearly 2 years. No one wants to fight him, and it's because they're scared to get beat by him because of his age, because it's embarrassing. But
it's tricky as well.
And it's like Eubank Jr. He can fight him anytime he wants, but it's not going to be for a lot of money, and he's probably going to get beat.
Yeah, it's the bunts, isn't it?
No, but he'll probably get beat by him. He's because of his style, he's not in a lot of wars, is he? So his career lasts longer. He's not got a lot of head trauma. He doesn't get hit a lot, so his style keeps him fresher for longer. And I just think he's like Danny Garcia. He's like 15 years older than him, and he schooled him. He absolutely battered him, and he hadn't even had a fight for nearly over a year. I think Janibek's, if he wins, I won't be surprised. I'm picking Lara to win. I really think that he can do him.
Interesting, yeah, it'll be interesting. I look forward to watching it anyway. At least, you know, I think as well, it's widely regarded by many that he beat Canelo as well. He just didn't get the decision. A lot of people think that.
Yeah. So coming back to your Chris, but I mean, you fought anybody who's anybody in that division. I'm just looking at the list here: Lara, Munguia, Lemieux, Eubank Jr., Billy Joe Saunders. When you look back over your professional career, how do you kind of see it? Are there any major disappointments, or do you generally look back and think, do you know what, you gave it all, and it was what it was? So how do you look back over it, your career?
Well, I gave it my all for all those big fights. Sure, I trained hard to the best of my ability at the time, and the one guy I think, or the guys that beat me that you just named there, I could have beaten Lemieux. I believe I could have definitely beaten him. He just caught me with that fucking haymaker. Do you know, I've actually, since I fought Billy Joe Saunders
left hook, wasn't it?
Left hook, yeah.
Yeah.
Since I fought Billy Joe Saunders in 2013, we've kept in touch, and I done a lot of sparring with him, and where we both kind of know quite a bit about boxing, and we've discussed just say he was fighting such and such a guy, whatever fight. Since 2013, all these years, we've always kind of offered each other advice on the various fighters we've been up against in our very next fight. And he said to me about Lemieux, he said, Spike, he's the hardest puncher I've ever got hit by. Just whatever you do, be careful in the early doors. He said, just hang in there for the first few rounds. Just be careful. You smash him up after that. But lo and behold, I found out about that. He caught me just after 2 minutes.
No, but it can happen to anyone. Like that's why when Billy Joe fought him, he didn't stand still for 1 second.
Yeah. He said to me, he tested his power. He tested his power on his elbow. Billy Joe was that good. He felt the power. He was like, holy fuck. Gotta get on my bike.
You've already answered my next question, because I was going to say, like, because I mean, Lemieux was known in that middleweight. I mean, he just looked so heavy-handed. Like, I was going to say the biggest puncher, because Munguia can punch a bit. Would you say Lemieux? I know he kind of caught you, didn't he? You're right. I think you threw a jab.
Yeah.
He then went to throw a right hand, and I think your right hand dropped, and he just caught you, didn't he?
Do you know what actually was?
Like,
it was a kind of a bit of a schoolboy error. You'd see it there, like, and I used to teach boxing myself, coach fighters. A lot of guys, when they jab, they drop their right. I didn't do it so badly as that, but I just retracted it slightly back towards my ear, just a bit, and he just caught me. The power was actually so great. It obviously concussed me when it landed on my cheekbone, but the glance from my cheekbone onto my nose broke my nose as well. I ended up in hospital in Vegas. And I had like Golden Boy Promotions thought I was going to win the fight as well. I had the contract to fight the winner of Canelo Golovkin. I had like tickets, incredible tickets. I was meant to be sitting ringside for the next day. They thought I'd be there and then get in the ring and challenge the winner, which would have been Canelo. But instead I was up in the hospital getting my nose fucking x-rayed, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but it were like serious fucking celebrities, because my trainer, Packy Collins, he gave my ticket and his ticket to his cousin Matthew, and he was sitting next to like someone like fucking, I don't know, it's crazy, Mariah Carey or some fucking Beyonce, one of these, I can't remember. It was fucking, I was like, fuck's sake, man.
You know what? It just goes to show, though, boys, doesn't it, Chris? This is question, like, just an insight for you both, really. That just at that level, it's just fine margins, like as you were describing there, where there's a tendency the right hand just to come down. It just inches, and I think at top level sport, and whether that's football, and I like football, sometimes just in that elite level, it's just those fine margins, Spike, innit?
Yeah, like I can tell you something, right? It was an inch or two, basically. I just grabbed out my right hand remained there, just kind of went from here to here.
Yeah.
And that was enough. He just landed bang. If my hand had remained there, it wouldn't have happened, you know.
He just seemed to time it perfect as well, because timing's obviously important, isn't it, as well?
And I remember when Billy Joe Saunders fought Lemieux, I fought on the undercard. That time it was when I beat Anton Douglas. And our show for the week while we were there, myself and my team, was a guy, he'd been involved with Lemieux. He had some part of his management team or some shit like that. And actually, in fact, he didn't really like Lemieux at all. And he had broke away from him. He wasn't involved with him anymore. But what he did say to us was, let me tell you, lads, if Lemieux lands on Saunders, he's going to sleep. He's the hardest puncher in the division. He punches harder than Golovkin, Canelo. He might not beat him technically, but he punches harder than everybody. And by fuck, I found out.
Wow. So that tells you something.
It makes sense you saying that, because if we think back, the only time we've ever seen Golovkin on his toes, boxing, moving, was when he fought Lemieux.
Yeah.
All the other time, he didn't. He boxed him, didn't he? He's his boxing skills. He didn't want to stand there and trade with him.
puncher.
He had a hell of a chin triple as well. Even he didn't want that smoke.
Yeah, that would have been.
Jeez.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah, like I always felt invincible. My chin had a fucking great chin, like to be honest. But like it's stupid in hindsight. Like you think you look at Mike Tyson, an absolute fucking beast, and he can get knocked out. Lennox Kill Lewis can get knocked out. I mean, if they can get knocked out, a fucking man my size can get knocked out. You know, anybody can get knocked out. So therefore, and I'm sure Golovkin knows that as well. So
yeah,
exactly. So he didn't even try and trade with Lemieux at all in that fight. It's the first time I thought we found out that Golovkin knows how to box, like actual boxing.
Yeah, he had a great amateur pedigree as well, Golovkin.
Yeah. He was always a stalker, and everyone was always running from him. This time, he weren't running, but he was boxing and moving.
I think his footwork is very underestimated in his boxing technical ability. Golovkin's he's a smart man and a good boxer. You know.
Yeah.
I nearly fought him as well. I had the contract actually to fight him, and Tom Loeffler, his promoter, actually. I met him recently. He's involved with a Cork kid now, Callum Walsh, and he was fighting in Ireland, and they actually had the posters made up. They had the posters made up and ready to go for myself against Golovkin, and the money wasn't enough. I was with Golden Boy at the time, and De La Hoya wouldn't accept the money, and so therefore the fight didn't go ahead over money. You know, I was number 3. I was actually the number 3 middleweight in the world at the time, just behind Golovkin and Canelo. And I was the automatic in. When Canelo failed the drug test, I was the automatic replacement.
Oh, that's right. I remember.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah. Mexican beef.
Yeah, that was it. You know, but the Golden Boy were promoting it when Canelo was involved. But then when Canelo failed the drug test, Tom Loeffler, Golovkin's promoter, took over the promotion of the event, and he offered me money that Golden Boy just said, well, it wasn't enough, and he would go up on it. So that was the end of the fight. You know, I fucking won. Actually, I'll tell you a bit of a mad story, actually. So I was staying in a hotel that time, and I just wanted to fight Golovkin so much. I just believed I could beat him at the time, and I actually sent a message to Golden Boy myself. I said, listen, lads, send me the contract. I'll sign it myself. I just wanted to do it so much. Then I got called in the gym the next day with my manager, and they said, look, Spike, you can't be fucking doing that. And they're after offering you a 3-fight deal anyway. It was fighting the night before Golovkin. He was fighting a guy called Mars in LA. I fought on the same card as Ryan Garcia. We shared a card, and then they knew Golovkin and Canelo was going to happen in September anyway. So I fought in May, Cinco de Mayo, and then I fought in September on the undercard, and then I was expected to fight the winner. They thought I'd beat Lemieux, but I didn't. You know, I'm not going to say he got lucky, but he caught me. You know,
it's one of them. It can happen. Like in a rematch, you probably won't fall for that again if you got it sooner. But I just want to ask you about that situation. So, is it not up to you then? Like, so if it's not, is it? Did they say no? Don't take it, or could you not have said, I want to fight him. I don't care whatever the money is. Let me sign it. And they said, no, we're not accepting it. Like, you're not allowed to accept the fight at this money. Like, is it whose decision is it? Is it yours? Is it theirs? Like, how did it work?
Well, I just wanted to fight Golovkin at the time. And I was told, they offered me a contract. It was life-changing money. Like, I bought my house out of it and that. And then, I was told as well, if I decided that, like, I'm not fighting on, that I'm insisting on the Golovkin fight, that, like, I could get taken to court based because of breach of contract, and I'd never win because I wouldn't have enough money anyway to fight fucking against Golden Boy. Like,
yeah, that's so shit. So this is things that we don't know about the fight game. Like, so when they play, he doesn't want to fight. If you're under contract, it's not even up to you. Because you can't say, whatever money I want to fight him, sign it. They say they choose what the money is that you can accept for the fight. So you can't. You're not even. When you're under a deal, you can't even accept fights. It's not really. Well, you can obviously, but if they say no, it's not enough money, then you can't fight it, even if you don't care about the money. It's quite shit. That's a bit harsh, man. Because then you get the backlash in the public, like, he doesn't want to fight. When you do, but your manager won't let you.
Yeah, and the way it was put to me anyway at the time as well was, that like I was number 3 middleweight in the world, and I could, I was pretty good, and I could probably beat most guys, to be honest. And they said, like, I get 2 fights. They said I was going to get the opportunity to fight anyway against the winner of Golovkin or Canelo. So we just a bit down the road, maybe, 12 months down the road as such. Like, I'd have that fight in May in LA, and then the fight in Vegas on the undercard of Golovkin and Canelo against Lemieux, and then I'd fight the winner anyway. So I'd make more money, a lot more money than I would for the Golovkin fight. That I was going to get to fight the winner anyway.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing, yeah, because you don't know. You could have won on that night. Like if you get to follow your own gut, like no, now is my time. And then you just got some wanker in a suit who doesn't let you take the fight.
I just thought that. I really believed that at the time, and who knows? I don't know. Who knows what would have happened? Everyone would say, like, I would say, fucking 99.8% of the boxing, what do you want to call them, experts, whatever, will say Golovkin will beat me. I just fucking fully believe it. It was actually reminds me a bit like Steve Collins against Eubank back in the day. And
good example.
He was sure he was going to win, and he fucking did, And it's just something. And I remember reading a couple of tweets at the time was something I'd always regret people were saying. And the truth is, I kind of do a bit, but like, I probably wouldn't have got the money that I did get if I had fought Golovkin. If I had lost, or if I'd beaten him, I would have got even more. It's
such a shame, like, because that's why a lot of fighters now, they only do one fight deals, don't they? They don't want fight by fight basis. They don't sign to promoters, kind of thing. Because things like this, like it's quite sad, really. Like it's not fair.
I've no major regrets. I don't think about it. Don't lose any sleep. I've had a great career, and you know what?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm continuing to fight. I fought there.
I was going to say you had a fight in October just recently.
I felt great. Fucking long story. I got into the training. Actually, I still went ahead of the fight. I still won the fight. I had to get with a surgery there. I did actually like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago today. So I'm going to be out for a couple of months, but I got the cast off today, so I'm going to be back in the gym there this week, keeping fit, and again, and I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. Anyway, I still believe I can become world champion, and I'm inspired a bit by Bernard Hopkins actually, and
nice.
Yeah, I got a very good connection to him. When I was at Golden Boy Promotions, I remember he was doing a press conference actually at that fight, but I fought in LA with Ryan Garcia, and there was numerous world champions. I cut the story short because it's a fucking long story basically, but he pointed me out of the whole crowd, of every fighter in the whole crowd, and he said to me, I see health. And I clearly remember it was 2017, and it stuck with me, and I feel healthy. I keep myself well. I always keep myself fit. I got good genetics, really good genetics. And he was world champion at 49, and I'm only 41, and I still believe I got the power, I got the experience. I'm very fit for my age, very, very fit for my age, and I fully believe I can still become world champion. And I don't care what anyone says or what anyone wants.
I've been saying this for a while. That middleweight division, you're still campaigning at middleweight, aren't you? You're still campaigning at that division.
Yeah.
So that shows a testament to your genetics as well, because I'm your age now. I mean, I don't think I'd be able to take 2 stone off if I tried these days, like no chance. But I look at that middleweight division, right? You got some good domestic guys in there. Denzel Bentley, that was our first press we went to actually. With Derek, who fought Derek Asazi at the time. Brad Pauls is quite a game fighter. Heaney. There's no one. Lara's about 43, 44. There's no one in that division really that sets the world alight, Spike. I mean, if you feel fresh, who's to say if you get a little run together? We see Chisora be IBF mandatory last year at 41. We got who's to say you can't have a little run? Why not?
Why the hell not? Like, obviously you won your last fight. It's just a shame that you got that injury, because I seen it on BoxRec. I thought he's fought not so long ago. This guy's ready to go, and then you said about your off.
It's a bit of a shame, but I've had many setbacks in my career, and I got the mental, the right mentality, and I'll come back after a couple of months. I'm going to keep fit, and as I say, I still keep believing. I still believe in I can do it. Just on the night, and I got the power, I got the experience, the big occasions as well and stuff. I've got buckets and buckets of experience, and I feel very
worth its weight in gold, Spike. Experience.
Let's imagine if I'm right and Lara beats Janibek, you and Lara for the rematch for the title.
Yes,
I'm not fighting him again. I'm not fighting that fucker again.
He won't fight that tricky southpaw, Chris. I don't think.
You've got got Adamus. You've got Adamus, who had a draw with Hamza Shiraz.
Yeah.
He's
a tricky fighter. Though.
He's quite bulky and slow.
He's a good fighter.
Good
I
head
like him.
movement though, Chris. He's quite sly. He's quite slippy and.
Yeah,
tricky.
but he's not very fast.
I
He's
tell you
not
one
fast,
thing,
and
he's
not
one
very
fight I
quick.
like. He's one fight I like. I watch him. He's a tough fucker. He's strong. He hits hard. He's got a lot going on, but he's a fighter. On the night, I could potentially beat him. You know, it's on the night. It's one night, and that's it.
See that.
You know.
Just let you know, Spike, I'm a strength and conditioning coach if you need one.
I've got a great strength and conditioning coach. I never change. He's super guy. He became one of my best friends. He's the nicest guy you could ever meet in your life, and he's very knowledgeable. He has the passion. He's a very passionate man in terms of strength and conditioning. That's his passion to better athletes. He's an amazing guy, the best guy you could ever meet. So his name is Dave O'Connell. He works in UCC in America.
Yeah,
he's
on the
he's unbelievable.
UK.
And Chris is injured anyway at the moment, anyway, so he can't do much at the moment anyway.
I train people. Yeah, my chest. I like strength. I used to be a semi-professional rugby player, and then I did my Achilles, and so I just do the weights. I bench pressing 170 kilos.
Fuck.
As you do.
My the tendon snaps, and it just like, and it's like over here. I've got to have surgery,
Do you know,
so I'm out of the game.
your next job now, Chris, be trying to get the belly off of Andrew.
Yeah, that's it. I do that for free, mate. So,
I'm only kidding, Andrew. I'm only kidding.
No, I love the banter, mate. It's all good. It's all good.
we've got 3 rounds with Boxing Bros UK. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions, then we'll be done. So the first one is, who are the 3 fighters, apart from yourself, that you love to watch, who are active, you like watching now? 3 fighters, name 3.
Horrible. Yeah.
Not the best, you just like watching.
Yeah. Oh my God, you really put me in the spot there. Oh, God.
Not to pick. There's so many.
Yeah.
Well, I got a sparring partner there, Craig O'Brien, because I like him so much. I like to watch him, and he's a very good fighter, and he had a good win with him.
What's his
Craig
name?
Craig O'Brien. He won
Craig
his last
O'Brien.
fight.
What weight class?
Yeah, he's a light middleweight.
Like middleweight. Look out for that, Craig O'Brien.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Daniel O'Sullivan. Holy shit.
Yeah, Daniel Sullivan.
He's unbelievable. He throws the most punches, like unbelievable. He's a middleweight. He's gone to middleweight now. He's unbelievable. Great fighter. He used to watch me as a kid, and he was inspired to box himself. He's undefeated. He's after picking up 3 titles now, 2 Celtic titles and the Irish title. He's one to watch.
Yeah.
Watch out. But he's 30 years of age, so he's not that young.
And a good name as well. It's got a good name.
Daniel Sullivan.
He's no relation, but he's fucking, he's the bee's knees.
Look out for him.
And one more that you like to.
Oh, fuck. I want to think I want to give a genuine answer. Like, I guess Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, he's one of mine. Him and Bivol are 2 of mine.
Bivol, unbelievable. I'm not the
Literally
biggest fan
Bivol.
of Sobas, but Usyk, I love Usyk. I love his character. I love this fact that what he's done. He's unbelievable. So Usyk's my man.
Now,
Good
3 of the legends of the past. Like 3 legends who you love to watch. Or they don't have to be legends. They can be even just great fighters who you just used to like watching. Like, who's that guy, that Augustus dancing master who never won a title?
Yeah, I actually loved him. I really liked him. But my top 3 would be Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
Senior,
87 and 0.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Hagler, yeah.
And between Sugar Ray and but Evander Holyfield, I loved him too.
Which one, Leonard or Robinson?
Sorry?
Leonard or Robinson?
Leonard, Sugar Leonard. But I'm going to go with my top 3, Chavez, Hagler, and Holyfield.
Yeah.
Holyfields.
I always hated Leonard for not hated him, it weren't his fault, but because I thought Hagler won. Hagler beat him. I thought he got robbed. It was close. I just think Hagler won that fight.
Yeah,
so
me too.
Yeah, I'm never really a fan. And then the last one is, who is the biggest knobhead in boxing right now? Who's just a wanker, like, it pisses you off? A manager, a coach, a fighter, a promoter. Who you think he is a knobhead?
There's too many. I know who ours is, Chris.
I'd probably nearly go with Conor Ben. You know,
I thought you was going to actually.
now that you put me on the spot, I'm kind of I liked him a little bit more in the press conferences lately, like the chats he was having with Eubank a little bit. Not, I don't hate him as much, but I hate him for cheating anyway. So yeah, fuck him.
Ours is Ben Shalom because he turned down. We were about to interview him, and he sent his security to get rid of us. And we keep flagging off his fighters, so he won't give us an interview.
Oh, God. No, we queued up for half an hour waiting to interview him, and then he didn't even have the decency to say, sorry, lads, can't do it now. He sent some security guy to go, sorry, guys, if you haven't got a wristband, you can't interview. We've been here for half an hour.
He's a bit of a knob, though, isn't he? He's a bit of a knob.
He looks it. I thought he was Eddie Hearn's love child.
One more question. This is just for me, curiosity. Are you friends with Roy Keane? Because you're from the sex.
Yeah, I know him, and every time we bump into each other at various events and stuff. We always have a chat. He likes boxing, and I like soccer, and I'm a Man United fan. And actually, I done graffiti one time in my life. I'm not going to say I'm not proud of it, but I did it anyway. I shouldn't be doing it, but I did it. I felt so passionate about it when he come home from Saipan from the World Cup. You know, I was fucking so passionate about it. I was a teenager, and I got a kind of spray paint, and I wrote on a wall, a big prominent wall where I used to live at the time. I was like, kick Mick home, send Roy back.
Mick McCarthy, wasn't it? The manager. Yeah, they had a massive falling out, I remember.
Yeah, I just spray painted on this big, great, long wall. It run right down the street where everyone had to drive past it to get to our neighbourhood. So in the middle of the night, I just wrote on it, kick Mick home, send Roy back.
There must be something. Spike, there must be something in the watering call, because I mean, you had a great mentality, have a great mentality as a fighter. Roy Keane was one of the most resilient, mentally strong, one of the best captains I've ever seen. I'm a Spurs fan, and Spurs have never had a backbone in any of their teams, really. You know, we've had some good captains over the years, but there must be something in the water where you're from, because you seem to create these resilient characters, you know.
Yeah, actually, in fact, it's something we're called a rebel county, actually, because back in the day, like in 1916, were the time when people started to rebel against the English. The English rule here was it started in Cork, and the Cork people are known as the rebel county because they seem to be kind of rebels. And I think, we got a lot of good sporting guys here, amateur hurlers, Gaelic football players, and I don't know, maybe there is something in the water here. It's in the DNA. You know, there's a lot of fight in us, you know.
I'm an Arsenal fan, but I love Roy Keane, and even after he's retired, I don't think he realizes it, but that guy's a comedian. I watch him on the podcast.
Dry humor, mate.
It's the way people say something, he just stares at him like.
There's good wit. There's good wit in Cork.
Yeah.
People, you know.
I love that guy. Right, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure.
We really appreciate it. Thanks, Spike. All the best, and you're a great man. Spike O'Sullivan, man.
Just I was on the phone or on the call to you. I just started getting a call from the missus. She's coming home from work. She wants the dinner, so I got to get cracking on the dinner.
Yes.
Thanks for your time, Spike. It's been a pleasure.
Take care.
It's been real fun. I really loved it. Thank you so much, man.
Likewise, lads. Thanks. Nice talking to you. Take
Yeah, this is going out to Boxing Bros UK. Tune in. These boys are real.
Hello, everybody. Boxing Bros UK here. I am the boss, Chris, Andrew the Boxing Brain,
Bosh.
and guest, legendary Irish boxer Gary Spike O'Sullivan. Thank you for your time.
How are you, lads?
Thank you.
How you doing?
It's
good.
It's an honour to have you on the show. This man has fought the who's who of middleweight boxing. You have fought everybody. The biggest names, the biggest stages. And you know what the best thing is about you? You're still a normal human being. You're just like one of the lads. I feel like we can go down the pub for a beer. We can hang out together. You're not above you don't act like you are better than everybody else because you've not better, but you've achieved so much. To be a fighter, professional, is such a great thing, especially at your level, and that your persona, the way you are, is absolute class. And it's a testament to you. And you've been this way. I've watched loads of a few other podcasts from like 10 years ago, and you're still the same guy, humble, respectful, and treat everyone and give everyone a time of day. And it's great. You're a great man. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll never change. I'll never ever change, no matter what. And if I was there with you, I'd go for a pint, no problem, 100%.
Bless you.
What's that from? Is that like your upbringing? Is that like your mum and dad? You know, just like, you know, always be yourself, always treat others like you want to be treated, kind of stuff. Or is it just you?
Yeah, I think so. Well, like, no, my parents were like that anyway. They were always like, you know, helping people out and being nice to people. Really, the majority of the time, unless it got into a bit of an argument or something, that they could flip over a bit. But in general, just be nice to everybody. A bit, I guess, when I'm thinking about it right now, as I'm saying, like probably a bit like that myself. I sometimes, you know, get a bit of temper. I have a bit of a temper, and but the majority of the time, if people are nice to me, I'm always nice to them, and you know, I feel like I'm nothing special. I'm the same as everybody else, and boxing's my job, and that's just my job.
Well, Andrew, take it away, man. Thank you, man. Great, man.
Yeah, so I've got a few questions. So we got to start with your origin, Spike, with a name, because I read a couple of reports. Well, one story said it was your dad that named your baby Spike, who's some superhero themed thing.
From Gremlins. Do you like the film Gremlins? Is it from that?
I'm not too familiar with Gremlins, the film, but you know how it actually happened was just a friend of my father's. My father was in the Irish Army, and a friend of his from the army came around to the maternity hospital and called me Baby Spike, and it just stuck to me. Before I left the hospital, I was known as Baby Spike or Spike or whatever. But it's not a real common name, so they didn't christen me Spike, christen me Gary, and there's where the Gary Spike comes from. You know.
Oh,
got ya.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So on to the next one. You had a very interesting career, I think. Like Chris said in the intro, you fought the who's who, but before that, I think probably fair to say you're in a continental title against a real up. I think he was 25 at the time, when he up and coming Antoine Douglas, and you know he seemed to disappear. I don't know what you done to him, Spike. I think you beat him so badly he disappeared for 6 years. Came back, I think, fought once more. He's only 33 now. Never fought again. So I think you've done a job on him, Spike, didn't you?
Tired him.
Funny enough, I still kind of stay in contact with him a bit. I think I've got a couple of messages on Instagram from him right now. I couldn't get into Instagram for about around a year, and I'm trying to get through all the messages. I got so many messages to get back to, and I know I've got a couple from him. And as I say, I'm still in contact with him. Look, to be honest, he's probably the better boxer than me and whatever. But like, you know, I like to say one of my favorite sayings is "Hunger is a great sauce." You know, at the time I was living with my mother-in-law, my 2 children, my partner. We were living in a small room, really, between the 4 of us, and I knew it was a big opportunity for me if I could beat Anton Douglas. It was on a Golden Boy card, a big pro on HBO.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever stood a chance of beating me. You know, I was fighting for my family to try and get him a house, and I think they could have put Tyson Fury in there that night. He wouldn't have beat me. You know, I had to win, and I did.
When you've got that hunger, like. Before, when you're hungry on the way up, people are always more dangerous then. It's like Marvin Hagler said. When you're sleeping on silk sheets, it's hard to fight and have that hunger. No matter how much hard you try, you ain't got it. You ain't got it there.
What's that saying we all love though, boys? You know, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think it's such a true saying. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't fancy it under the lights or whatever, and the other guys got because that night, Spike, you just seemed to have the dog in you. You were just closing him down. He was very, very flashy boxer. He had some lovely jabs, but I think you just wouldn't be denied. I watched it again today, and you were just like hunting him down the whole time. And I think you could just tell from the first round you were going to get to him at some point, and I think you knew it.
Yeah, I guess. Do you know what? I'm just looking out the window here as I'm speaking to you, and it's a regular occurrence in Cork where I live. The piss and rain, the wet, fucking cold, dark evenings, and I was fighting him in December, and I remember preparing obviously through November and December, and I always remember I'd be tired in the evening times, and I purposely in my mother-in-law's house put my shorts and my t-shirt on the bed, and I wanted to get into bed because I'd be tired. I feel like getting into bed, but I never did once. So I just put on those shorts, that t-shirt, went to this hill that's not so far away from where I live. I actually I don't live far from my mother-in-law now, but I've been using that hill since 2017 when I started training for him. I done hill sprints, and I remember the weather was so bad, it was so discouraging, and I never wanted to do it. It was tough, obviously, running up the steep hill, but I remember looking across the ring at him that night, and I was thinking, because he was training somewhere nice, like somewhere like probably Florida, somewhere
Marbella,
somewhere nice anyway. And I was thinking, I remember looking across the ring thinking, you were running up those fucking hills, the freezing cold nights in Cork. You're not going to be as hard as me. You haven't trained as hard as me, etc. And just between that and the want to provide for my family, basically, I feel as though he couldn't beat me.
Yeah,
that's what I felt on the night.
Yeah.
Because you said that, it's like when your family's involved. Like we're both family men. Like you think I'm gonna die, and you've got nothing. Like you're gonna have to kill me before I'm winning this fight, no matter what, or I will die here. And when you've got that kind of desire, it can't be denied.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of
family.
My father said to me when I was fighting Ruslandy Lara for the WBA middleweight world title. My dad said to me he was going back to another fight. Though, was a fight against Anthony Fitzgerald, but the hatred was genuine. Everything you've ever seen in my career, I can tell you this. I can put my hand on my heart and tell you, it's all been 100% genuine. I fucking hated the guy proper. And actually, I remember the commentators saying in the commentary, which was they were very inaccurate. They said, they didn't think there was like a genuine rivalry there. They thought it was a bit, because I shouldered them before the fight, and they were a bit taken aback. They were like, oh, fuck, they weren't expecting that. But I fucking hated the cunt so much. I wanted to really fucking kill him, to be honest. I wanted to beat him up. I would have fucking, oh man. And I've told him that since, and we've actually become friends, which is mental. And he texts me most weeks now. He usually gives me a WhatsApp, and it's one of the sex noise is like,
Character though, isn't he?
He's a fucker. But we get on very well now, and he's always trying to catch me out and prank me, the fucker. But anyway, yeah. Well, sorry. What I was going to go off on a tangent there. What I was alluding to was my father said to me, he said, Spike, he said, well, can you not get into the frame of mind that you were in for the Fitzgerald fight? You really want to fucking kill him, and you were like a savage in the ring. Can you not like replicate that and do the same to Lara? But I said to my dad, I said, I can't do that, Dad. It's everything in me is just, it's true stuff. I couldn't make believe that Lara was a fucking prick, that he was this, he was that. I'm going to kill him. He's cute, I don't even know if he speaks English. So fuck's sake, I was meant to hate the dude.
And his
so I couldn't get into that frame of mind.
And Lara's style's not very fan friendly, is it? So when
that's an understatement, Chris.
Yeah, when someone's got that kind of style, it's kind of hard to get up for it. If someone's not sticking on you, hitting you, hurting you, and they're tapping you and running away, you're probably falling asleep in there while you're fighting him.
Well, it's probably right, because he's had a very kind of like self-preservation. I mean, he's in a unified world title against Janibek, isn't he? What is he, 41? I think he's 40. He was the same age as you, Spike.
I'll ask you this, Spike. So that when that fight got made, I'm picking Lara to win. I'm picking him to win. No, Lara. I'm picking Lara to beat Janibek.
Yeah, against Janibek, you're picking him to win. Yeah.
I don't know. I think. To be honest, I think he mightn't win. No, I think he's on the slide. To be honest, I think he was actually on the slide as well against me. I don't think it was the best he's been when he beat me. But the honest truth is, I've always struggled against southpaws. I remember I fought Billy Joe Saunders in 2013. Yeah. I said to my manager, I said to my coach, I said, look, I'm never fucking fighting a southpaw again unless it's for a world title. And it's not just the fight itself, it's the preparation. Like you're sparring 2-3 days a week, you're getting beaten up basically in the gym, because I fucking struggle with the southpaws. And every day in the gym, you're just dreading going to the gym for sparring. I fucking hate it. Anyway, my coach rung me up. He said, Spike, I know you said you wouldn't fight a southpaw, but it is for a world title. Will you fight Ruslandy Lara? I said, okay, fuck it, I'll fight him. I'll give it a go. I trained my fucking arse off as much as I could for that fight, so hard, but just ultimately wasn't good enough. Basically, southpaw is too good for me. I think it's a big advantage being a left-hander. Only 90% of our right-sided of the world.
It's no shame, because the thing with Lara is he's had that middleweight title for like nearly 2 years. No one wants to fight him, and it's not because. It's because they're scared to get beat by him because of his age, because it's embarrassing. But
it's tricky as well.
And it's like
Yeah.
Eubank Jr., he can fight him anytime he wants, but it's not going to be for a lot of money, and he's probably going to get beat.
Yeah, it's
by
the
him.
bunts, isn't it?
No,
It's
but
the
he'll probably
longer.
get beat by him. He's because of his style. He's not in a lot of wars, is he? So
No,
his career lasts longer. He's not got a lot of head
he-
trauma. He doesn't get hit a lot, so his style keeps him fresher for longer. And I just think he's like Danny Garcia. He's like 15 years older than him, and he schooled him. He absolutely battered him, and he hadn't even had a fight for nearly over a year. I think Janabek's if he wins, I won't be surprised. I'm picking Lara to win. I really think that he can do him.
Interesting, yeah, it'll be interesting. I look forward to watching it anyway. At least, you know, I think as well, it's widely regarded by many that he beat Canelo as well. He just didn't get the decision. A lot of people think that.
Yeah. So coming back to your Chris part, I mean, you fought anybody who's anybody in that division. I'm just looking at the list here: Lara, Munguia, Lemieux, Eubank Jr., Billy Joe Saunders. When you look back over your professional career, how do you kind of see it? Are there any major disappointments, or do you generally look back and think, do you know what, you gave it all, and it was what it was? So how do you look back over it, your career?
Well, I gave it my all for all those big fights. Sure, I trained hard to the best of my ability at the time, and the one guy I think, or the guys that beat me that you just named there, I could have beaten Lemieux. I believe I could have definitely beaten him. He just caught me with that fucking haymaker. Do you know, I've actually, since I fought Billy Joe Saunders, left hook, Since I fought Billy Joe Saunders in 2013, we've kept in touch, and I done a lot of sparring with him, and where we both kind of know quite a bit about boxing, and we've discussed just say he was fighting such and such a guy, whatever fight. Since 2013, all these years, we've always kind of offered each other advice on the various fighters we've been up against in our very next fight. And he said to me about Lemieux, he said, Spike, he's the hardest puncher I've ever got hit by. Just whatever you do, be careful in the early doors. He said, just hang in there for the first few rounds. Just be careful. You smash him up after that. But lo and behold, I found out about that. He caught me just after 2 minutes.
No, but it can happen to anyone. Like that's why when Billy Joe fought him, he didn't stand still for 1 second.
He said to me, he tested his power. He tested his power on his elbow. Billy Joe was that good. He felt the power. He was like, holy fuck. Gotta get on my bike.
You've already answered my next question, because I was going to say, like, because I mean, Lemieux was known in that middleweight. I mean, he just looked so heavy-handed. Like, I was going to say the biggest puncher, because Munguia can punch a bit. Would you say Lemieux? I know he kind of caught you, didn't he? You're right. I think you threw a jab. You then went to throw a right hand, and I think your right hand dropped, and he just caught you, didn't he?
Do you know what actually was? It was a kind of a bit of a schoolboy error. You'd see it there, like, and I used to teach boxing myself, coach fighters. When a lot of guys, when they jab, they drop their right. I didn't do it so badly as that, but I just retracted it slightly back towards my ear, just a bit, and he just caught me. The power was actually so great. It obviously concussed me when it landed on my cheekbone, but the glands from my cheekbone onto my nose broke my nose as well. I ended up in hospital in Vegas. And I had like Golden Boy Promotions thought I was going to win the fight as well. I had the contract to fight the winner of Canelo Golovkin. I had like tickets, incredible tickets. I was meant to be sitting ringside for the next. They thought I'd be there and then get in the ring and challenge the winner, which would have been Canelo. But instead I was up in the hospital getting my nose fucking x-rayed, and I can't remember exactly who it was, but it were like serious fucking celebrities, because my trainer Peggy Collins, he gave my ticket and his ticket to his cousin Matthew, and he was sitting next to like someone like fucking, I don't know, it's crazy, Mariah Carey or some fucking Beyonce, one of these, I can't remember. It was fucking, I was like, fuck's sake, man.
You know what? It just goes to show, though, boys, doesn't it? Chris, this is a question, like, just an insight for you both, really, that just at that level, it's just fine margins, like as you were describing there, where there's a tendency the right hand just to come down. It just inches, and I think at top level sport, and whether that's football, and I like football, sometimes just in that elite level, it's just those fine margins, Spike, isn't it?
Yeah, like I can tell you something, right? It was an inch or two, basically. I just grabbed out my right hand remained there, just kind of went from hair to hair. And that was enough. He just landed bang.
And it just
if my hand had remained there, it wouldn't have happened. You know.
He just seemed to time it perfect as well, because timing's obviously important in it as well.
And I remember when Billy Joe Saunders fought Lemieux. I fought on the undercard. That time it was when I beat Antoine Douglas. And our show for the week while we were there, myself and my team was a guy. He'd been involved with Lemieux. He had some part of his management team or some shit like that. And actually, in fact, he didn't really like Lemieux at all. And he had broke away from him. He wasn't involved with him anymore. But what he did say to us was, let me tell you, lads, if Lemieux lands on Saunders, he's going to sleep. He's the hardest puncher in the division. He punches harder than Golovkin, Canelo. He might not beat him technically, but he punches harder than everybody. And by fuck, I found out.
Wow. So that tells you something.
It makes sense you saying that, because if we think back, the only time we've ever seen Golovkin on his toes boxing move.
Check out our other videos at Boxing Bros UK news, predictions, reviews, interviews on our YouTube channel. And next up, we're breaking down the Fury rematch prediction you won't want to miss, so stay locked in.
So, Boxing Bros UK here. I'm a Hister Boss Chris in association with Last Bell Boxing. Shandy Ryan is nearly. Wow, she's got arms bigger than mine. Like you're a scary girl, for real.
I don't think I am.
Oh, you look scary. I wouldn't want to have an arm wrestle with you or any beef. I like vegetable samosas. But how are you doing? Are you fight ready? You up for it?
Yeah, do you know what? I'm feeling good. Fight weeks always come around so fast when you've got like a 10 to 12 week camp. So to be here, yeah, I'm very grateful and I'm ready and I'm focused.
So your opponent, she's not a trash talker, she's not cocky or anything like that. So, but these kind of opponents, like they can trick you. Look at Andy Ruiz and AJ. What happened there? Like, are you finding it difficult to get the fighter, or are you mentally tough? Where she's so nice and polite, like it's hard to get motivated for the fight?
No, definitely not. I've not taken Nicola lightly at all, not one bit. I've seen her fight before. She's a good fighter. She's coming up in weight, but again, that doesn't mean anything. You mentioned my shape, but again, that doesn't really mean anything. We've seen boxers that have come in and they're muscly, and again, it doesn't mean anything. So I've not taken her lightly at all. The niceness, the fiery, or if someone wants to trash talk, again, that can all be. When people trash talk, that could be nerves, that could be confidence, or if someone's nice, that could be nerves or confidence. I'm looking for a great fight on Saturday night, and I think our styles will clash really nicely.
So what's the prediction? How are you going to go? Like knockout points? What are you going for?
Do you know what? I would speak more on knockouts if I had more on my record. However, I have one, so I'm just going to always continue to say that I just want a clean performance. I want to show my boxing skills. My last fight only went 4 rounds due to the accidental head clash, so I just feel like I've got a lot more to show. So I want a clean performance, and if the knockout's there, if I follow the game plan, I feel like I can stop anyone now that I'm with a new team. But yeah, just a clean, clinical, good performance.
So I know, like, you don't like to look past who's in the future, but are you going to try and if you come through this, get that get back with Dolan?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant to say Emma Garcia. The get back with Emma. Do you know what? If she'd have come out victorious on her previous fight, then, I was hoping to kind of get that fight on. However, she got stopped by Emma Garcia on the MVP card in round 3. So I don't think that fight is on the tables on the cards at the moment.
Don't make no do-re-mi right now.
It's still a loss that I would want to revenge. Hopefully that Emma can rebuild and climb back up. And again, focus on Saturday night, but I think it's always good to have a plan, irrespective of a fight coming up. So, I'm hoping that I come out victorious on Saturday. Then I'm hoping I can get the fight with Emma Garcia, and then hopefully an Emma rematch in the near future.
Okay, I know you're busy, itching to get some kip and some food probably. So I'm going to do 3 rounds with Boxing Bros UK. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Just trying to fire back quick, yeah? Yep. 3 fighters. Round 1, 3 fighters that are active that you like watching fight. Any fighter that you just like to watch them fight.
Yep, Usyk. Let's go with Cruiser Shields, and let's go with Michaela Mayer. Yes. Yeah,
so,
very good.
3 retired legends that you think, I like watching these guys, or they're great fighters and you just enjoy.
Dead or alive?
Dead.
Yeah.
Dead or alive. Not dead, only dead. Dead or alive.
Yeah.
But retired.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, okay. So
He's not retired, but he's in boxing. He's retired. So let's have that one.
let's have it right. All this misfits exhibition stuff, that's not boxing.
No. It's not.
So, third question: do you give Rico any chance at all against Usyk, the kickboxing champ?
Do you know what? I don't know, and I just really, I think Usyk's just very special, and I just think he's going to blow us away once again.
Yeah.
I'm an Arsenal fan, but like I love Roy Keane, and even after he's retired, like I don't think he realizes it, but that guy's a comedian. Like I watch him on a podcast.
Dry humour. Dry humour, mate.
It's the way like, people say something, he just stares at him like,
yeah. There's good wit. There's good wit in Cork.
Yeah.
People, you know.
I love that guy. Right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Pleasure.
We really appreciate it. Thanks, Spike. All the best, and you're a great man. Being Spike O'Sullivan, man.
Just there was on the photo on the call to you. Just started getting a call from the missus. She's coming home from work. She wants the dinner, so I got to get cracking on the dinner.
Yes.
Thanks for your time, Spike. It's
Thank
been
you,
a
man.
pleasure.
Take
care.
It's been real fun. I really loved it. Thank you so much, man.
Likewise, lads. Thanks. Nice talking to you. Take care.
Check out our other videos at Boxing Bros UK news, predictions, reviews, interviews on our YouTube channel. And next up, we're breaking.
Yeah, this is going out to Boxing Bros UK. Tune in. These boys are real.
Boxing Bros UK here. Gracing us with his presence today, Mark Hunt.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for having me on your show, guys. Appreciate it.
So, right, let's get into it. If there's anything you can't talk about, just let me know. But like I said before, this is an independent channel. I do this shit for free because I love boxing, and anyone can sue me. I ain't got any fucking money, so go ahead. I don't care.
You know, before you go ahead, you know, the reason why the UFC and those Dana White hasn't sued me for anything for defamation because the onus would be on them to prove it. And guess what? Them trying to prove me defaming them is what? They're wrong because everything they've done is actually material, fact, and evidenced. Everything they've done to me, I have on paper, material facts. This is why, and so you know, there's like I said, they can't sue you for defamation because, like I said, they got to prove it's, that they didn't do it.
So the first question, this is my good friend Matt Pomora. He writes for Ring Magazine. Like he's been published in there a few times. He's a Yank, but I like him. He's a good guy. So
there's nothing wrong with Americans.
Yeah. Why do you think Dana White has circumvented the drug testing process? I don't even really know what that means, but go ahead.
He's done that. Well, look, from what I saw with USADA, what they did for Lesnar is they let him off. They gave him a pass, and the reason why they didn't do it again and they split ways with UFC is because of my lawsuit. My lawsuit shows when they UFC try to give Conor McGregor a pass. I did say to the USADA boss, I said, you guys are. It doesn't matter whether you took a little bit of a bite of the pie or a big bite of the pie, you still bit the pie. You are part of this, you know, and the statute of limitation is gone for me suing them because because the time has gone past. Plus, they've also fired those people that did that to me. And now he's got some bodgy, the UFC have their own testing, you know, like some jackass that's part of this whole RICO case, you know, doing these laws, giving them out jackets for 50 clean tests. Bitch, isn't that in your contract? Cleaning fighters? Isn't that normal to be a part of it? Why are you giving out jackets if they're testing clean? I don't get that.
So what do you mean jackets?
So this dickhead named Jeff Novitzky, right? He gives out jackets when they test clean. Here's your jacket, a UFC jacket for 50 drug test free clean. These guys are just they're imbeciles because they have these rules in place and rules and regulations. But the problem is, when do they enforce them? When they did it to me, they could have enforced all their laws and rules. They could have taken off Lesnar's money. But what do they tell me? No, Mr. Hunt, we've obligated our contract with Mr. Lesnar. Okay, so you're lying. So your contracts are void and rubbish like them, like you.
So what? What are you saying? They gave him a jacket to say that he's had 50 tests and he actually hasn't.
No. What I'm saying is, broadly, with the UFC testing policies, they got a guy named Jeff Novitzky, who caught the Lance Armstrong, right? So he goes out and every person that tests 50 tests clean, he gives them a jacket. Like, why would you give someone a jacket that tests clean for? It's like, so that means these guys are promoting steroids.
Right. I get you.
You have a contract that says, why am I having a contract that says no PEDs, no this, no this? So why do they have to? And their testing is only by people inside there that works for their company. Just like USADA when they split ways. The reason they split ways is because of my lawsuit, you know, and guaranteed, like I said, that they haven't got away with this. People, you know, the whole globe thinks that they got away with this by, you know, knowingly knowing and allowing this guy to you know, Brock Lesnar to go through and fight while he was dirty, you know, and with, you know, anyway, I think that's what answers your question.
Yeah, like it is a serious problem in combat sports, and it's dangerous.
Not just combat sport, all contact sport, all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And it's like there's all different agencies, like we've seen with Conor Benn and stuff, like, oh, pass the drug test in America and I'm banned in England, so let me go and fight in America. And it should just be one independent governing body, but then we talk about funding, and it's just an absolute shit show. One question that he told me to ask, your lawsuits, they're nearly over and stuff. Did you have to pay that out of your own pocket, or is it kind of thing, if you lose, you got to pay for theirs and yours, or if you win, they have to pay for yours and theirs? Like, how's it working?
Well, I'm already on the hook for, I think it's like $350,000 US or $400,000 US. But I've, you know, I filed for a writ of certiorari, you know, which is, you know, I went from the Ninth Circuit. They've made me a pro se litigant myself, so they made me the lawyer, because the lawyer I had, well, the two lawyers I've had, the previous counsels I've had, you know, I feel, but the first one I know was 100% corrupt, Christina Denning. The next one, Propok from New York, you know, he, a Jewish guy, he just took my money and left me at the altar. So I had mediation with the UFC for this case. And he said, I paid him $15,000 US, and he wanted the 20,000, the more 20,000 to pay him.
Your own money.
And I couldn't get the money on the day, so to be honest. And then he said to me on the day, he said, "Look, I'm leaving this case, and I'm not even worrying about this case." So he left me at the altar with no recourse. And so the Ninth Circuit made me a pro se litigant. They made me the lawyers. They cut through the red tape. So, I've just been able to file a lawsuit against Christina Denning after 7.5 years, because the damages that came from this lawsuit with the UFC. Because when the Ninth Circuit mandated their ruling, they threw the case out. But they didn't actually throw the case out. They mandated and said, indeed, the evidence is there. It's in the language. They said, indeed, the evidence is there. But we, you know, as a Ninth Circuit, they couldn't do anything about it. So they said, you know, and they said you have options. You know, file en banc, or you can file for a writ of certiorari. I filed for en banc. They denied that, so it had to be a writ of certiorari. I mean, it only has 1%. People say you get 1%. Like out of the 8,000 there gets filed every year, only 1% make it through. Yes. It depends on if there's a circuit split in the case, which there was a lot. You know, maybe 5 or 6 circuit splits. If this case has national importance, which it does, it affects all contact sport. Not just combat, all contact sport. It affects insurances. It changes their constitution. This lawsuit changes their constitution. Well, people don't really, you know, they sit there and they think that I'm delusional or crazy and they got CT, but clearly you can see I've not. No. It's them and their PR machine that have,
my friend.
Yeah, they have put this narrative on me on my account saying I've got CT, I'm crazy, and I'm crazy to a certain extent, but when I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing here. 100%. So these, you know, it's taken a long time to get to where it is. It didn't take long for Christina's the Hunt lawsuit to get to where it is, to be honest, because all the briefing, the filing that I did, you know, I put all the exhibits on the case. You know, as a pro se litigant, I could do that. I couldn't do that as a lawyer, and especially being a diversity case. I'm in Australia here. I'm in Sydney. I'm fighting this lawsuit in America as a pro se. So, you know, to be honest, when I look at this, as a prize fighter for, you know, 33 years, you know, as a pro over 21, to be able to come and change and do this as a lawyer, it was a lot of hard work. And, you know, and like I said, it didn't take long for this case to get to where it is with Christina, because it's all material evidence.
Okay.
You know, her case, her case is done, and all we're waiting for now is for the judges to make a ruling on whether it should go to mediation or through to when they want arbitration under California law. And I'm like this, well, it's all public. It's on the docket. It's all public. This is at the district court in Nevada, to be honest. So that's this case. The other case, I'm waiting for the writ of certiorari to be approved. It's, the Supreme Court has asked Colby Williams, who's Dana White's lawyer, and Brock Lesnar's lawyer, they have either two things. They file a briefing because the court's asked them what's happening with this case, what happened here, or they could just have a waiver and say, I don't want to say anything. So, I know why they won't say anything, because when you're walking the plank and you're about to be pushed over by the pirate, what are you going to say?
Say nothing. Say nothing.
No, you'll say, please, anything. Help me, God. You'll say anything. You're about to get pushed over the plank, right? And I'm there gonna give you the Sparta kick through the, to the thing, and you want to say nothing? Why? Why don't you say something?
Yeah, yes. So what do you think the outcome of it's going to be? Do you know? And can Dana White just keep fucking about and pumping money into the solicitors and outlast you in court hearings to the money because he's got more money? Because that's what Conor Benn did with his test in Britain. He kept on running it, and the British Boxing Board of Control couldn't afford to keep it going, so they had to let him off in the end.
Really? I think they settled that out of court. Did they settle that out of court?
Because, they can say what they want. They could not afford, the British Boxing Board of Control, to keep on going at him in court. So they just settled it and said, right, you haven't boxed for 2 years in England. Let's just leave it here. But they didn't really want to reinstate him. That's what I believe. That's my opinion. Ali, what do you think about that? And that happened to you.
Sorry, I lost you a bit there, mate. Was you asking me a question there?
I just said, what do you think about the Conor Benn situation? I like what I just said about basically he just...
Right, I got you. Yeah. So Conor Benn, it's a tricky situation because I don't know the ins and outs of it from any sort of official source, right? Whereas you hear damning stories about it and then you hear the opposite end where it looks like he did nothing wrong. So it's quite difficult to comment, do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you don't know, right? It could be all one way, it could be all the other. The reality is the truth's probably somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, for sure. But and to you,
and the thing is with Mark's case now is for anyone who doesn't know, the fight we're talking about with Brock Lesnar, Mark, I believe was in 2016, right? So it's been going on an awful long time now.
And the reason it's been going on such a long time is because my first counsel was corrupted. And I didn't get the evidence until later. She sealed all the evidence from discovery with their lawyers. Right now, like I said, it didn't take me long to weed her out and find her out. And I could only sue her after the Ninth Circuit mandated the damages, for her, to do what she did. And like I said, I don't have the evidence of her getting the money transaction, but what I do have is all her actions as she did on the docket by sealing the evidence, forgery. There were 6 times this case was supposed to be was asked for mediation. She only told me about one of them. Even Brock Lesnar wanted to settle this, but I never got told about that. She's done forgery. She's done so much wrong. To be honest, but with any civil RICO case, after a civil RICO case comes a criminal case. Okay. So when you asked me before about Dana White, that's the reason why he's going from UFC, because he's a liability to them now. He's going to be going to boxing because he's going to go and try and steal from you guys now. That's the problem with these promoters like Don King and Dana White, because he's a criminal. And that's where this criminal goes. He goes from criminal leech. He's going to go from this to being in jail. So this is a civil RICO case, and all he's done is evidenced.
Right. Okay.
People have been laughing at me for years, saying you can't put. He's got too much money. He's got too much. But what unequivocally ties Dana White to this lawsuit of mine is the $600 million he made from the sale of Zuffa from the sale of their company,
right?
From that Brock Lesnar fight. That's what ties him to this case.
Because that's what I wanted to see, because it's been going on for so long. Is there a chance of him keep giving you the runaround and fucking you about until you run out of money.
It doesn't, as a pro se litigant, it only costs $3 or $4 to file, I think, to file something. It's hard enough.
Yourself, smart move.
That's what a pro se litigant is. I said that to you many times. But like I said, the filing and sending stuff to America now is hard. You can only send documents because of Donald Trump. You can't see, But the thing is, like I said, with the civil RICO case comes a criminal case after this. So undoubtedly, there's no way that Trumps can help this guy. The Supreme Court, in my eyes, are not corrupted. They don't muck around. They're going to fix what has been wronged here by the law, just like the district court is going to fix what Christina Denning has done to me. What ties them to this case is all the material evidence.
For sure. And this is like, because Dana White, he seemed like he's going to be the savior of boxing. Everything he was saying was great. However, I found it very suspicious. All these things that you're saying that you want to do is great, but you want to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act. Now, if people don't know, the Muhammad Ali Act is an act, that was named after Muhammad Ali, that complete transparency of every boxing show. So the
bottom to the top.
How much money has been made from the show. They might sign contracts, they can get a flat fee, or they get a percentage of the pay-per-view money. So if you're trying to say this is going to be great for boxing, everyone's going to fight the best, everyone's going to make great money, why don't you want the fighters to see what the fuck's going on with the money? And Max Kellerman is another shithouse. He had him on the show and he didn't ask him that question direct. Everything you're saying is great, but why don't you want the fighters to see what's going on in the show? So they can say the fight did 10 billion pay-per-view buys, but you're only giving them 5 million and you're keeping the rest. I don't know why Max Kellerman didn't ask him that question, and no one has, because that's what everyone wants to know. So this is what I find very suspicious, about Dana White. Why? And that act is there to protect the fighters, and that's why in boxing they earn a lot more money than what in the mixed martial arts world, because of the Muhammad Ali Act, because they know what's on the table. So I just don't get it. And now, after speaking with you, I'm thinking Dana White seems like a snaky little bastard, to be honest.
Well, look, the only reason why he's going to box it because he's going to be he's already out getting pushed out by UFC because he doesn't own that company anymore. A guy named Ari Emanuel owns the company. He's cost they sold the company for $4.something billion, but this prick Dana White's cost him more now. They cost him more with this company because of this lawsuit, because of what he did. He's trying to go over to boxing. End of the day, he's gonna go hiding somewhere in the desert somewhere. Because, like I said, after a civil RICO case comes a criminal case.
Yeah,
people laugh at me and say, "You can't put him in jail." Well, I can't, but my lawsuit will. The Supreme Court will.
I hope so, because when people are,
I don't know.
It's not right. What's going on?
I don't hope anymore. I know.
Yes, preach. Anything to add, Ollie, before we round up?
Well, I mean, it's interesting to hear it from that point of view because, as I'm sure Mark knows, when you hear things online, it's always very skewed one way or the other, right? It's always either very pro Dana White or very sort of anti Dana White. So to hear it from someone who's obviously involved, it gives you a different perspective. And when you're talking about boxing and the Muhammad Ali Act, on the face of it, that's one where you'd go, it's got to be a bad thing for the fighters. But then you hear the other side of that too, where the UFC, as much as they don't get as much money as boxing at the top level, there's a lot of fighters in boxing, and you'll know this, Chris, that are getting, very small money low down the card. So I think their argument, from what I understand, and again, this is just public, whatever's out there on podcasts and whatnot, is that they spread the money out more. But then the counter argument to that I've heard as well is that it's not as transparent. So it's all kind of, did you see where I'm coming from? It's all up in the air in terms of what you hear. So to hear it from Mark of his experience is an interesting angle.
Well, look, man, all I can see from is the history. If you look at the history of it, Dana White he lies about everything. He's actually and the reason why people when people talk to him is that, why don't you ask him? The reporters ask Dana White about Mark Hunt and the lawsuit. Why don't they ask him and say, Dana, what's happening with Mark Hunt lawsuit? And what also says, he says, Mark's a bit of a delusional guy. Why don't they keep asking him that question about what's happening with the lawsuit now? He's a bit of a delusional guy, but guess what? You're going to jail, Dana White, because you're a criminal. Yeah. And how's that been proven? Because when the writ of certiorari gets approved, guess what? Everything gets pulled up to the Supreme Court, and the case gets relooked at. And guess what? You're going to jail, 100%. There isn't a doubt in my mind. You know, like I said, these guys should have killed me years ago. They just thought that they could kill me now. But the thing is, the difference is it's too late for them now. They're still going to jail. The difference is that they thought that had me over the brow because they had my lawyer. They paid my lawyer off. And like I said, I don't have the evidence of the transaction, but I have got the evidence of a malpractice.
Okay.
That speaks volumes by what she has done as a lawyer. As a lawyer, she's ruined her whole life and career by throwing my case, making, fraud, forgeries, stealing evidence, not telling me about the mediation. She even sold me a product called the tar cutter. And that's not even to do anything with this lawsuit. That is a bit of malpractice right there.
What is that product? What is it?
It's a filter for weed.
It is.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the lawsuit, but she brokered the deal. And that's when I that was 7.5 years. I found out later because I didn't even bother about my case. And when I met my missus, she said, "Oh, what's happening with the case?" And I said, "Oh, I just gave her $100,000 for a product called the tar cutter, Stonecutter Tech." And then she goes, "Oh, that's illegal, Mark." And I'm like, "What?" And then that's when the change started happening, when we started finding out, because that alone is malpractice by itself. But then we went and we dug deeper into the evidence and everything. We got all the evidence of her malpractice, and I'm sitting there going, that's why it took 7.5 years, because it took that long to find out, what she did. And then we had to wait till the Ninth Circuit mandated, their ruling, before I can sue her, before I can see the damages. And that was a process, like I said. But, once this is, we should be in mediation soon. Hopefully the judge rules for mediation and this goes to that. And then that's over. And then the writ of certiorari won't be too far behind that, to be honest. And that's when the laws change for sport, all contact sport. The insurances change. And like for running a show like that show, you've got to have proper coverage. You can't just, have a in-house steroid user company. I mean, you got to have the test before the fight. You got to have all these things done before. And why would an insurance company insure a promotion if they don't have their protocols up to date, up and correct? There's a standard that you've got to meet, And already, like I said, they've already affirmed in the Ninth Circuit that Hunt v. Zuffa et al., like I said, it's already battery. It's already confirmed there's battery when someone, because my consent wasn't given. And Judge Rawlinson said, his consent wasn't given. So that's battery already. So if someone that's using steroids, you catch them when you're fighting, that's $350,000. And that's just not the point about the money. The point is you can lose your license as a fighter. That's to start with.
Yeah. And your life, if someone's juiced up to the eyeballs.
Well, that didn't matter to the UFC or Dana White, did it? They didn't give a stuff. They just said, fuck this guy. We just run him in. We just feed him to this cheating ass rat. Because for me, I call that premeditated murder because, 3 months you got to fight someone, you start juicing up, and then you go on to fight against this guy. How is that not illegal? Especially when you have a contract in place saying this is supposed to protect my Mark Hunt or whoever the fighter is. But when you don't use the enforcement policies, what does that say? You're allowing these guys to dope. Yeah. They're just scumbags. The whole, MMA went bitter for me after realizing and finding out all this stuff. But, it's taken a long time to fight this battle, especially, losing, money, the mockery from people for since 2018, or even earlier, but just, it's financially been draining and mentally been hard, but the journey is nearly over for this part of it. But the benefits will come through with all the kids playing sport, all contact sport,
Safely, and props to you for sticking it out. And yeah, it's mockery and all that, but I say, fuck them, stay strong. You're doing the right thing.
100%. And that's what it's all been about. Like I said, when God put this in my mind, and I said, this is not about money. This is about making things right. And like I said, when people don't say nothing, it continues to happen. And it's been continuing to happen for decades and decades, not just combat sports, but all contact sports, where people just seem to turn a blind eye and say, oh, that's all right. We'll leave it for the next one. No, it's not okay to cheat. Why do you put these guys like John Jones and these idiots on pedestals when they're doping out of their minds? They're shortcut takers. Why do we give these guys, props for cheating. Because all he's done, they said, oh, I mean, if he could do what he could do without cheating, then fine. But the bottom line is with all these shortcut takers, is that's all they are. They're nothing but gutless people that can't do it properly like everyone else. They can't get up every day. They can't grind it. And all they can do is just say, look, and when they do get caught, what happens?
Nothing.
Oh, here's a fine for you. You know, go and sit at the back of the bus and wait for a year. No.
Some people only fight once or twice a year these days anyway.
So what happens if he's killed that person? Or that woman, or and that. What happens if he's murdered them? And that, you know, when he's doping, what happens then? Who has to pay for that?
There's no money in the world that can pay for that. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying. But the people that pay for it is the family, the kids. They lose their person or whoever. They're the ones that pay for this.
So, Ollie,
what recourse do they have?
Yeah, that's it. Ollie, you had something to add. I think you wanted to ask you a question earlier.
Yeah, I was going to ask Mark. Like, we obviously there's an issue here with the UFC and whatnot. Do you have a personal issue with Brock Lesnar for what he did?
Look, like I said, I can't blame the guy for being a coward. You know, for him to be hanging out with someone like me, he's got to cheat. Just like when I look at all these cheaters, for them to hang out with someone like me, they've got to. It takes an average fighter to be above average like me. That's what I am. I'm above average. These guys cheat to hang out with me, and that's the difference here. You know.
So we're gonna round up now. So I've got a couple of things to finish off on. So to conclude, we thought Dana White was going to be good for boxing. No one asked Dana White the tough questions. We've heard it from the horse's mouth right here that he's a corrupt motherfucker. And you've got to use your brain. Why the fuck is he trying to get rid of the Muhammad Ali Act in boxing? That is there to save the fighters. And he can say he wants to reinvest it back in the sport all he wants. Why can't we have transparency in the contract? Like this money from the profits is going to academies for boxers.
So hasn't he done that for UFC?
Exactly.
He talks about going to save boxing, but when has he saved the UFC?
No.
He's done nothing. All he's done was he's created a sport. He's taken from the sport of MMA. You know, all he does is taken from it. And after the class action lawsuit, after 4 years, it goes back to normal. So they can still take advantage of people. You know, these class action lawsuits like the one they've just won. When things don't change after 4 years, it goes back to the way they're doing it, like slave contracts. That's all it is. They've got slavery contracts. And like I said, let's see if you can sue me, Dana White. You're a criminal. Don't bother going to boxing.
I'm from Blackpool, yeah. So what they call us donkey lashes in my town, yeah. It seems like to me that with this Muhammad Ali Act and everything and all those lawsuits, not just you other people, Dana White, he's rode the UFC or MMA like a donkey to the last fucking minute, fucked it off, and now he's trying to do it in boxing. So I say, fuck that guy. We don't want him in boxing. Like what I'm hearing is more evidence. And no one's asking him the tough questions, and he's not coming out and answering them. He's just bullshit, baffles brains. He's trying to do that. My last question for you, Mark, is, and if he's watching this, I have a great idea. You and Brock Lesnar, bare knuckle fight. Said it all. Winner takes all. That's what should happen. I'm telling you. Would you do it?
I've already taken it all. I've already taken everything. You know, like I said.
No, but I mean, bare knuckle fight. Used to bare knuckle rules. Bare knuckle in the ring. Would you fight him in bare knuckle?
I wouldn't waste my time, even when you say he's going to be drug tested, because you can't trust any of them. None of their words mean anything. When you see these guys, when they have their rules and regulations and they break their own rules and regulations, you say, well, what's the point of having that? What's the point? Where is your transparency? Why are you guys trying to take out the Ali Act? Because you guys are criminals. You know?
No one's asking that question.
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. You know why I know it makes sense to me? Because I know they're trying to steal. They're stealing from everybody. That's what they're doing.
That's the only thing that you can come up with. He's not coming out and answering that question. No one's asking him, and he's not answering it. That tells me you're right. And what I was thinking,
he won't answer those questions.
He wants to steal, or why would you want that abolished? It makes no sense.
You know why he won't answer those questions? Because he's a liar. That's bottom line. And like I said, you know, if you see this, then try and sue me. I'd love to see you try. I mean, I've already said, you've said all these things about me, and I've said this about you, but the difference is with what I've said is it's all fact, material facts. I've got the evidence. I've got all the receipts. So, you know, good luck with living in the desert, my friend.
Anything to add, Ollie, before we finish?
No, grateful to meet you. Grateful for you to have me on the channel as always, Chris. Grateful to meet you, Mark.
Nice to meet you guys. I apologize. if you're a UFC fan, to put a downer on that for you, to be honest. But that's, like I said, I'm only speaking from what I see on my table. I only speak the truth. There's no point in me lying or sugarcoating whatever it is. Like I said, I'm not just talking about it. I'm going through it.
Yeah.
With these
Mark, you
lawsuits.
have nothing to apologise. On my channel, we talk the truth. We don't.
I like that.
So don't apologise for telling the truth. Like and subscribe.
All right, thank you.
Subscribe. Boxing Bros UK out. Marco Hunt, legend.
See you, bro. Nice to meet you. See you guys. Thank you, man.
Boxing Bros UK here. I am Mr. Boss Chris, and I'm with Tyson Fury's manager Spencer Brown, and he's also a Sanggrown like myself. How you doing?
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, I live in the same town as you, so it's nice to see you. A bit cold up there at the moment. Miserable, isn't it? Oh, it's miserable up there.
Always is. Well, actually, I wanted to put something straight to all my southern friends. So you're right. Do you know who Mitzi Walsh is from Blackpool?
Of course I do.
Right. Didn't he tell the Craze to go home and get back on the train and send them back to London?
He did.
No one believes me.
No, I knew Mitzi very well. I'm a good friend of his son, Glenn. I've known him a long time, and all his friends I know. So the stories I've got about Mitzi Walsh, and they're all true. He was only a little guy, but he was a terror.
Yeah, because no one seems to believe me down south that when I say he told the Craze to get back on the train and fuck off back to London, and they went. They didn't stay in Blackpool.
It was a force of nature, and his team were naughty as well. So God bless you, Mitzi. I hope you're up there smiling down.
He was actually an alright fighter back in the day, because I think the Jaggy Thistle pub.
Correct.
I used to work the door there, and there's a poster of him. I didn't know he had a.
Well, the old Jaggy Thistle is knocked down now.
Is it not there anymore?
Yeah, it's not there anymore. So that's been knocked down, and I mean, you know, there's loads of legends in Blackpool, and there are loads of fighting men. There was, you know, they had to be fighting men because there was teams from all over the country there. Scottish, you know, Manchester, Liverpool, all the major crime gangs were there, and Mitzi was the local Blackpool lad who held it all up. And don't forget Brian London, a great boxer, owned the 007 Club and knocked people out for fun.
Actually, I lived on Grasmere Road, and his house is, I think it's Whitegate Drive near Stanley Park.
Correct.
That's where he used to live, behind me, because they used to shop in Lidl's, and so did I.
Well, there you go.
Well, anyway,
a good friend of mine as well, Brian.
Is he? Yeah.
Was when he was alive.
Oh, this is another one. All the legends gone. So, firstly, I want to ask you what everyone else wants to know. How comes it's on Netflix and it's not on DAZN? And is his next fight going to be on Netflix as well? What's the coup with that? Or is it a fight-by-fight deal?
It's a fight-by-fight deal. It's you know, we got to go over this one first before we go on to talking about other things. He's fighting a 6'4". I don't know who's come out with that. He's at least 6'7", this guy. And when they said that to me, 6'4", I thought, first time we saw him, everybody was like, who is that? Who is that monster? And he was fighting one of my fighters called Ajit Kabayel. And Ajit Kabayel absolutely destroyed him in 7 rounds, chopped him to pieces. And I was a bit shocked because I was a bit worried for Ajit, but he came through, and look where Ajit is now. He's next in line for the title. So we're looking forward to him coming out, and be under no illusion, he can stop anybody, this man.
So, obviously, I know you don't like. You're his manager, so you can look forward into the future a little bit because you're not fighting. So, let's say Tyson wins this fight. Who's next? Wardley Dubois winner or Ajit Kabayel? Because obviously,
no. Let's stop you there.
Oh.
Ajit Kabayel will never fight Tyson Fury. They're too good of friends. They've known each other forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're very good friends, and Ajit's a very loyal person, and he'll be at this fight. He'll be there. Ajit Kabayel will be there supporting his mate. So that fight will never happen. So to your other question about the other two, let's see who wins that fight. Tyson holds no fear for any man, whether, you know, and they're two very good fighters. Daniel Dubois, I mean, he punched an hole through that wall, you know, and Fabio Wardley is a very destructive fighter who fights from strange angles and hits you from strange angles. He's got a heart as big as a lion and a chin of fucking stone.
I know. I was quite surprised, right, after coming off a loss. Why would you fight Wardley? Because it's not exactly a tune-up. like he's a serious. Like I just want to take that as a comeback fight. But obviously, I'm not a fighter, so
no. Look, it's,
it seems
fighters have to fight each other. It's as simple as that. Whoever wins this one is the world champion. It's a world title fight. You go for riches again.
Yeah.
And Daniel Bryan's got a great chance. I'm not going to ever back against Fabio Wardley again because I've done it. I've had 2 fights against him, and the one fight was I don't know what happened there. He got, Justice.
It was an early stoppage, though. To be fair,
I'm talking about Justice.
Oh, okay.
So Justice Rooney was that was an early stoppage, but I think Justice Rooney, I just couldn't believe it. I was devastated for 3 weeks. I couldn't get it out of my head. And Mick Francis, his manager, was more devastated than me. And Eddie Hearn, I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to jump off Big Ben or something,
Well, I think Hooney was because he was doing so good. I think it seemed like it was so easy for him, and he switched off for a second, and that's all you need in this heavyweight game.
Ripped his biceps, couldn't throw the jab, so he had to go in with that straight right, and that was it. Bang, out the game.
Drop the shoulder, head off the line, over and right, boom. Was your uncle. Right, last question, because I know you're a busy man. I really appreciate you. Is there any rumours about like Tyson going over to Zuffa Boxing and fighting for their belt and becoming the Zuffa champion and all that business? Yeah.
No, but you never know. No, in Tyson, anything can happen with Tyson Fury. He's like a cosmic character, isn't he? That anything can happen with him. But no, absolutely not.
So definitely not.
Not at this time. We'll have this fight. I'll go on to if he's happy with this fight, then we go to another fight. But we have no talks with Zuffa. And I think Zuffa's doing a great job at the moment. I enjoyed their show last night, and
because they've only got like a few heavyweights. If Tyson went over there, he'd be the champ straight away. They'll just give him the belt.
A few heavyweights, but let me tell you that the power and the money they've got, they'll have a lot more.
Yeah. So in the future, maybe.
You never know.
All right. Thank you very much, Spencer. I appreciate it.
Fellow
cheers, brother. See, Sardis.
Check out our other videos at Boxing Bros UK news, predictions, reviews, interviews on our YouTube channel. And next up, we're breaking...
After some technical difficulties, we got that in the end. The interview with the president, Ike Ikebuchi.
Welcome.
Ike Ikebuchi.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, this is a great honor, man. Because I'm part Nigerian myself. I got a family. My dad lives in Lagos, in Port Harcourt. So yeah. Growing up, we watched you fight a lot. This is a big honor, man. He was a precocious talent.
I appreciated your work. I accidentally found that you had continued without me last week, so that was really touching. So I had to, reschedule to be with you today because I should have been in the gym, but I wanted to honor my promise, and to the extent that I wanted to, conduct the interview, because I really wanted to talk to you guys, no doubt.
Oh, thank you very much, Ike. Thank you.
Welcome.
So let's get started. So before you got into boxing, you was going to join the military.
Oh,
Is that
yeah.
right?
What did you say?
I said before boxing, before you was going to start boxing, you was about to join the military. Is that right?
Yes, that was correct. That was correct. I wanted to be enlisted in the Nigerian Defense Academy. I had,
Okay.
yes, I wanted to, after my high school, I wanted to join the army through cadet, but I was unlucky at the time. And also when that was in 87, actually 87, 88. And when I came back, instead of joining or attempting to complete it, I saw the Tyson fight with Buster Douglas, and that's how I was motivated to join Boston to start boxing.
Oh, so
Nice.
what did you think of that fight then? Was it the upset that someone defeated Tyson when no one believed it could happen?
Well, Tyson was the undisputed. He was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and nobody was thinking about defeating Tyson. So it was a huge upset at the time. And if anyone were to defeat Tyson, it could have been Holyfield, but their fight weren't almost on the radar. But Buster went on and defeated Tyson. So obviously, looking back at it, it meant that anyone can be a world champion. I believed in myself because naturally, I did things like that. I love to indulge in combat, and obviously that's why I wanted to join the military. But boxing was an easier route to get recognition and also to make some
nice money. Yeah. And
Nice.
your first in the amateurs, you won a Golden Gloves Championship in Dallas and Texas. Is that right?
No, well, that was upon my immigration when I started boxing about 1990, I believe, and I fought some amateur matches in Nigeria. In fact, I represented the country in some international tournaments, and I subsequently immigrated to the United States and remained as an amateur for quite some months. I believe 6 months before about a year before turning pro. I turned pro on October 13, 1994. So like a year and 2 months that I had immigrated to the United States.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. So, how did the link up with Curtis Coates? You know your coach, Curtis Coates. He was a former world champion himself at welterweight, I believe. How did you link up with him?
I was introduced to him by one of our family friends. He actually owned a gym and trained young people in a recreational center, and that's how we were introduced. And it was just like love at first sight. We started training immediately, and that's how we met.
Yeah, because he was a good coach and he was a good fighter in his own right, world champion.
He
For
was
sure.
all around a good fighter. He was the welterweight champion of the world and also a great coach, because I wouldn't have actually had the confidence, excuse me, sorry. I wouldn't have had the confidence to turn pro without Curtis Coates. Honestly, I had to turn pro because I believed that I was improving, and he being my coach, I was ready to embark on that journey towards the professional realm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, your style is more suited to the professional game anyway, because amateur's very tippy tappy, and he was more destroy. Yeah,
Seek and destroy. Seek and destroy. Fabulous.
For sure. Who were your idols in boxing then growing up? Like, obviously Mike Tyson would have been one. Like, who did you look up to in boxing before you started?
Or why you was
Well,
boxing?
I actually had an interest in the military, and if I had an idol, it should be Muhammad Ali, the greatest. But I really didn't think I would have been a boxer. I didn't go about being a boxer. I just wanted to join the military in Nigeria, and when it was unfortunately, you know, inaccessible for me, I had to resort to boxing as another combat avenue to explore, and that's how I began boxing. And so Muhammad Ali on that scale would have been an idol for me. But of course, when I started boxing, it was about Tyson. Tyson's style was unique, and you know, with his size, it also would have manifested, you know, a difference with someone who has a different stature. But it's always good to be, you know, ready for the fight. And I really, except for the Muhammad Ali whom I knew or who was popular in Nigeria, and my dad, late dad, but they all loved Muhammad Ali. So obviously it had an influence in our household. So yeah, I would have said it was Muhammad Ali until Tyson became boxing, and when he was ultimately defeated, there's no doubt that it was an open door for everyone who can actually box and who believe in themselves.
For sure, for sure. One thing, you might not want to talk about this, but have you got any sparring stories? So, have you sparred any big names that we know about? Any stories? Yeah.
No, I hadn't sparred any big names, and I hadn't, you know, I love to spar, but I hadn't sparred any big names because we wanted to fight the big names instead of sparring with them. So,
yeah, for sure.
yeah, that's one thing that always caught my attention. You know, if you learn other people's style and skill and confidence in sparring, so I'd rather keep my skill and my confidence and my strategies to myself until we fought. Maybe after the fight, we can start sparring and learn further, but not before the fight.
Clever. Clever.
Yeah, that's the best way. 'Cause, you know, a lot of fighters nowadays, they've all sparred each other many times. Like AJ, Wilder, all them guys have all sparred with each other before. So, so that's a good strategy.
They know
really.
each other inside out.
Yes,
They know each other inside out now, don't they? They know all of their weapons.
It's good to cooperate. I'm not saying that it's good that they cooperate in boxing in that manner. It's an evolution. It's an advancement. You know, to have the starting fight. Of course, it's an old creed in boxing. Muhammad Ali had his sparring Larry Holmes. Tyson had Oliver McCall. So the thing is that it depends on who wanted who. I'm reserved. I've kept to myself. I don't know whom I would have sparred. I don't know who would have called me to spar with them. But like I said, I hadn't sparred any big names because, you know, it's just training, sparring is training. And I believe in working on the strategies that were taught in the gym. And hopefully I can execute them in the ring during the fight. So I hadn't had the opportunity to spar with anybody that is substantial.
Oh, okay. So you're looking to beat the big names, not sparring with them. Yeah, I get that. Where did the nickname come from?
Well,
the president.
if they want me to spar, excuse me.
I said, well, where did your nickname come from? The president. Where did that come from? Who invented that?
Yeah, I will answer that later. I would, you know, if they wanted to spar with me, if these young guys wanted to spar with me, they can spar with me, okay? That's to say that I'm not close to, you know, exchanging my talent with any of the young guys who wanted to spar with me. If they wanted to spar with me, I would honor it. I would take that, dutifully, and we can exchange our talent there. It depends on who wanted to there. Okay. The other question you asked, how did I get my nickname? The president.
The president. Yeah.
Yes. It was given to me by the promotion that promoted me towards my pro debut. Actually, the ring announcer told me that they were gonna call me Ike the President. So I didn't like it though, because it didn't sound boxing to me. But I didn't care all the same, because I wanted to win, and anything that the company that I had signed, the promotional company that I signed, wanted, if it's gonna make them, promote the fight, if that's how they promote. I hadn't turned pro before. If that's the nature, though the name, I'm okay with it. So, Ike the President was issued to me on the day, I believe, in the morning of October 13, 1994, upon during the, I believe, weigh-in and other merits of the fights being conducted in the morning. So, I never had a name to which I would have entered the ring, and I didn't think it was possible. But Mr. Shellyman was the person who said, we're gonna call you Ike the President. And
Shelly Finkel.
What?
Shelly Finkel.
Well, Shelly Finkel was that?
No, it's not Shelly Finkel. Shelly Finkel was obviously the manager to Tyson. This one was obviously Shellyman. You can see him. He's the announcer on my 7th fight. If you watch my fight with Greg Pinkram, he's the person. That person who introduced us in the ring was Shellyman on the September 9th, 1996 fight with
Shellyman.
Shellyman. So that's who named me Ike the President, and I don't know his status now. God bless him, but that's how I got the name Ike the President, and since then it has stuck. That's nothing.
It really has. If you mention your name in boxing, everyone always says the President straight away. Like, it really has stuck. Like, wow, that's the.
In terms of style, like when looking back at some of your fights, what would come to my mind is like the Hurricane or something like that, because you just didn't stop. You just kept coming at him. So something like that, I would have thought, like the Hurricane or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it Hurricane the fighter or Hurricane the weather? I don't know. He said the hurricane kept coming.
Yeah.
I have an aggressive style of boxing. I box and I can also fight or slug. The thing is that I want to hit somebody and I don't want to get hit. That's the motto. The plan there is to hit somebody and don't get hit. That's my strategy of boxing. I don't want to get hit, but I tend to stop you. So, but if I got punched in the ring, I also had the capacity to take it, absorb it. That's boxing.
Yeah, for sure.
I have aggressive style of boxing.
So I know this is probably a silly question, but before you fought David Tua, like he hospitalized his previous 3 opponents. So was it didn't seem like he was wary at all of David Tua, because that was a hell of a fight.
No
was
fear.
You a bit nervous?
No fear.
When he was fighting David Tua, like, because this guy's hospitalized 3 men before me. Like, what was your mindset in that fight?
I was not informed that David Tua was hospitalized. Honestly, I didn't know that he was hospitalized. It could have been a rumor, but he just had a fight.
He hospitalized his opponents. He put his 3 opponents before you in the hospital because he knocked them out very bad. So was you a bit nervous about fighting him, thinking I'm going to the hospital too?
I didn't really watch the fight because you will get scared watching how he dismantled his opponents in the late rounds. So towards fight, it's not. I don't want to watch so much of his three last fights. You know, the Izon fight, the Oleg Mazvek, and which were the other those three that he fought before previously before fighting me. You know, those were fights that made him, you know, the most notable of the young heavyweights at the time. So, but you know, one thing I also learned about him was that he had a left hook that I must defend. So I didn't think that you know, watching him over and over would do me any good. I knew that he had a left hand, and I knew that he can last till the last round. So what I did was to put my right hand up and build my gas up, you know, trained for endurance, and obviously I persevered. So I don't actually, I just want to know how a person fights, and that's enough for me. I don't have to, you know,
No, the ins and outs.
kind of, you know, defending myself in a fight where I can be fight and not get hurt or injured at all.
Yeah, you guys. That I think, Andrew, didn't you say you had some facts about that?
Yes,
the most punches.
I believe. Yeah, I think you still hold the record in that fight for the most volume of punches thrown. I think that still stands to this day, as far as I'm aware, which is incredible.
It was a hell of a fight. It was a hell of a fight, man.
It was a hell of a fight, but now,
yeah,
though,
my question. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
I'm interested in now time. You know, I had not retired. Tua retired. Every of my class in 90s, they're all retired. I don't see any person that is actually fighting in the from the 90s that I were in, and so I'm trying to make a one last run on boxing and see if I can on a title shot and if I can actually clean my name to what could have been. I wanted to be a world champion, no doubt, because in as much as I'm undefeated, there's no record reflecting that I am a world champion. I was WBC international heavyweight champion, but I've been training, and I will train more and harder to get my dreams, my initial dreams accomplished, because I wanted to be a world champion and it's practicable. So I want to focus on that at this time, and that's why I'm talking to you on this media, because my goal and my instinct is still to be a world champion as undisputed or undefeated fighter who became against all odds of life and came through and become a world champion. So that's what I want to put on our talk today.
So how what are you doing for your comeback? Have you reached out to anybody, any promoters or anything like that? Or you just trying to play it by ear? Like, because obviously it's going to be very difficult because you're in Abuja, in Nigeria. So it's like there's not really a great deal of talent, or boxing is not very massive in Nigeria. So what are you doing to try and start this comeback? Any fights upcoming in Nigeria, or?
I wanted to fight any fights that could gear me towards a mandatory challenge, and I had called the Queensbury promotions, and I've called Match Room Promotions. I've called also, attempted to reach out to His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. No one has responded to me. I've got friends, or at least well-wishers, or even fans who had also attempted to make contact with these people. including Golden Boy and Top Rank. Nobody has ever thought about, giving me the very viable opportunity that I earned because, though I was gone for a lengthy while, I also earned the appellate return. I won my appeals of the conviction. So it's not about selling me or marketing me. It's that nobody had thought about, giving me the chance to prove my boxing ability that were evinced in 1990s as though, they are no more. I wanted them to evaluate me. Okay, by the way, my medical records are cleared. I could get any license I want in the whole world, including United States, because I've even posted my recent medical results out of doubt. I've cleared the state of Pennsylvania, Arizona, Texas. They all show that I can obtain a license to fight in the United States. But for the MRI reasons of the state of New York and the state of Nevada, I know I can get that too. But the thing is that these promoters and organizers now in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, they have not actually contacted me to see if they can test me on boxing level. Okay, so whatever the reason is unexplained. So, and I'm wondering what they think should happen, with a fighter like me who wanted to fight and who wanted to redeem himself. I don't know. There's no term that is, palatable or even palpable presented to me yet. So they hadn't returned my call, of course, and it ends as the dilemma around my resurfacing in boxing.
I was thinking, have you tried? It could be a long shot, but do you know Jake Paul, the YouTuber, he does boxing, but it's not real boxing. He does exhibitions, but have you tried reaching out to him? I know because he's a boxing promoter as well, and he does promote some professional fighters. It might be a way if you can get on one of his shows, just to show everybody you're still here and knock someone out in good fashion and get on one of his shows to get the name back out there. That could be an idea if the other guys aren't reaching back. I might even message it myself, to be fair.
How you gonna message him yourself? Okay, well do that. Then I am all out for boxing. Mr. Paul himself has not, impressed me in boxing. I don't know how to contact him in the boxing. He's just 9-1 or 10-1. I'm way ahead of him in boxing. I don't know why we should.
No, I mean he might get you to fight on one of his shows. I'm telling you now, Jake Paul would never fight you in a million years. He just want to do it. I'm telling you now. But he might get you. He might be able to get you on one of his shows, maybe.
That would be great.
He's fighting Mike Tyson, isn't he?
That would be excellent.
He's
That would be
fighting.
excellent.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he works. That's his job. Who can, no matter the show, it's gonna be a sell. It's gonna be money. I didn't know he can do that. So, yeah, I would appreciate that. To start up with because, like I said, I'm money oriented and also, to prove it, I wanted to, put my record on the line and the 20 and I wanted a title shot, that a fight that would propel me to at least a clearance as a mandatory challenger in any of the governing bodies. I mean, things are happening now. After the unification, the IPF now is gonna be fought before a rematch of the cause of the unification. So I'm totally unaware of how the anomaly came through. How could they relinquish a title that was bound by the law of the contract to the rematch to fighting it separately? So it's not gonna be the same. So I believe that many things will happen after the rematch too. So I am interested in boxing as to securing a title fight that would legitimize my career as a boxer, and the world loved me in boxing, and I wanted to do that proud by coming back and picking something that is mine all along. Since 1997, I was ready to become a world champion. Without due respect, but no one challenged me in the ring about it. I continued to challenge the champions, but it fell on deaf ears. I wanted to box and I wanted to be a world champion. So if anyone can have the decency to at least make a contact with me in regards to fight, I would appreciate that. I would so much appreciate that.
Yeah, that'll be so great, man. So you've got what, no fights on the horizon at the moment, like up and coming.
I don't have any fight at the time, and I don't have any radar of any fight. Like I said, I had not been contacted by any of the contacts that I made in boxing. And by God, if anyone had contacted me, I would have known. There's no contact made anyhow and anywhere in which I'm entitled to respond, and I failed to respond. Yeah, I'm only boxing. I don't about title. It's not about contractual terms. I'm about there is Usyk Alexander who defeated Tyson Fury. Those are up, and when you look at the top 10 in the world, just give me anyone to this. I have got a beautiful record, to say the least. Anyone could have my record if they can. But the thing is that the idea of scheduling a fight would open door for me to climb, to accelerate, to elevate, to come out from my absence of 25 years. So really, they shouldn't be counting the benefits, both intrinsic or extrinsic, that would occur if I were given a chance to fight. I want them to see me as one who wanted a fair shot and who can lose his undefeated record. It's gonna be damning for me to lose my record, but at least I would understand that I had a limit. I never thought that I could from the 90s, and having that in mind, I'm training so that I don't mess up. I'm training hard every day, and I want to remain undefeated, no matter what the competition is. You know what I mean? So, I'd appreciate a comeback fight and eventual test of, being able to, become a world champion. But that's what the sport is. It's a fair sport. Should be given generally and not, restricted to one like me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I really hope that can happen. Well, we're going to be campaigning for you for sure.
Absolutely.
Like putting posts out there, try and reach out to whoever we can. Like I was saying to you the other day, because Chisora wants his last fight in Africa. His 50th fight.
There you go. There's a fight.
How great would that be, man? Like, obviously, but it's worth it. It's worth a shout.
Yes, he won it. Impressive, and he wants his fight in Africa. You tested that to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to fight Chisora. He's a great fighter. I would love his fight anytime in Africa. And it's going to be very, very interesting because nothing that I will not do. If he's the person to fight to be recognized, if it's the person to fight to get a title shot, I would do that. He would explain it without thinking back about it. I would love to fight Chisora anywhere he wants to fight in Africa or in UK or United States. Anywhere I can fight.
Ike, how would
go on.
Sorry, Ike, how would, if you fought Derek Chisora now or in Africa, how would you see that fight playing out? How would you see that going between you and him?
Hello?
Is he froze?
Okay, Chisora has his stock raised after beating Joyce. I believe that if we were to fight in Africa, my return to the ring, I hadn't fought in 25 years. It's gonna be a good fight because then I'll get ready. I will be motivated to stay unbeaten, and he's gonna continue his climb eventually to get a title shot. I know he fought Fury, but Fury is not the world champion anymore. He might get a chance to fight. I thought he fought Usyk also. He fought all these guys. So yeah, that would be a good fight to sell, and also that is gonna place a burden of proof on me to prove that I am equally ready to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world, because he's a fighter and I'm a fighter, and I've got to box, I've got to punch, I've got to slug, I've got to do all those things. So yeah, I would love the fight. The fight is gonna open door for both of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd say that's about it, really. Thank you for your time, Mr. President. One more thing. If you get a fight, can we have jobs, please? I'm an aspiring strength and conditioning coach. I'm a, strength and conditioning. I do that on the side. So if you need one, if you get your big fight, reach out to me. I will be there. Help you with your strength and conditioning.
Okay.
His strength and conditioning always looks pretty good to me, Chris. I think.
Yeah, for sure. It was really great to meet you, Mr. President. I really appreciate this honor of letting us interview you, and I wish you all the best in your comeback. And we're going to be campaigning for you and helping to try and promote you, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks
for your time, mate.
Yes.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. God bless. I'll see you later.
God bless.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate the time that you've given us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love. Right, we're out. Boxing Bros UK out.
Check out our other videos at Boxing Bros UK news, predictions, reviews, interviews on our YouTube channel. And next up, we're breaking
Boxing Bros UK. I'm with Medway Mola, Louis Green. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good.
Recent times, when I spoke to Sean Noakes, he said you got in the Who Needs In club, so you can bang. You hit hard, but you're not well known, so people wasn't ringing you for fights. If you get my meaning, so he's finding it hard to find fights.
I didn't find it hard for a while to get fights because I was taking fights and I had belts. I've been in the top 10 to the top 5 for years now. Then I went to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Got the first round knockout there. I'm supposed to come back and fight practically straight away. And I didn't hear a thing. I didn't hear a thing. I accepted purse bids. Outside of the purse bids, I accepted the first offer. I didn't get any reason as to why the fight never happened earlier. Never. All I was doing was I had people sending me text messages like, Lou, fight ain't gonna happen, mate. I've heard this. Lou, look at this, sending me videos. And I said to my dad, like, listen, I don't think the fight's gonna happen. And I've booked holidays with the kids, things like that for after the fight. And then as it was getting closer to the dates, because I was getting this date, then that date, then this date, then that date. So I'm cancelling everything. I was losing a lot of money. I cancelled, I didn't go to work. I just trained. Then I'm getting, my sponsors are going like, everything all right, Lou? And I was going, I don't know. So I would forward them the messages.
Yeah, just say, look, you're paying for me to wear your shit on fights and that.
And then one of my sponsors phoned me and said to me, look, Lou, I just spoke to this fella and said some stuff to me, not about me, but why the fight ain't happening. I didn't say anything.
Jeez.
I phoned my dad again. I said, look, right. So then I phoned my manager. I said, look, it ain't happening, man. Thanks. There's things. And then when finally I was out running and someone went, oh, there's a fight happening now for you. You've just been the fight's advertised. I thought, right, whatever. And then the week of the fight, I got I got very ill out of nowhere. In fact, I've still got scars on my body from whatever virus that was in my body. It showed in my skin.
Oh, really?
It scarred me.
Fucking hell! What was that?
I had no idea. It was like a blood thing.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what it is. The scars are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can see them there. Yeah.
Across me. I couldn't tell you what it was. They couldn't. I was having sometimes 3 blood tests a week, piss tests.
Jeez.
I lost a load of weight, and I was thinking, what's going on here? Like, I couldn't believe it. I've never been fitter. I was knocking people out in the gym. I felt brilliant. And the next minute, I'm sitting there, I've got an IV thing, and I'm thinking, what's going on here?
And then you feel like all the times it's been cancelled on me, and now I'm going to have to.
I couldn't. Well, it was at a time when I didn't even care about the fight. I just spent a year. People are going to me, oh, Lula, but it's easy with the money in Saudi. And I went, listen, I didn't earn the days that everyone's looking at. Like, you got it twisted.
Yeah.
I didn't get paid millions, man. My thing is when I come back, I'm going to earn a lot of money when I come back, because I'm going to go out there, I'm going to get this job done, and when I come back, then I'm going to earn all my money.
I see.
That was my thing. And instead, I came back, and the whole world just went quiet, and I'm thinking, what is going on? And then, like I say, I'd never repeat it, because I'm not an arsehole.
Yeah.
But people was videos and pictures and sending me things, and I thought, okay, whatever. Voice notes. Then, once Christmas hit, I remember thinking, fucking hell, like, this is dreadful.
What the fuck's going on? Like,
and my phone rang. Would Lou fight this fella? And my manager went, he can't fight. I was so ill. I didn't know what was going on with me. I was rough. And then the next year comes around, and I'm thinking, right, it's going to be brilliant. Gets a date for a fight. I start training. It's not that date. I thought, right, okay. And I said to my dad, I've just spent this time with absolutely no follow-up on anything. And when something don't make sense, it's normally because the truth's missing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah? If the story don't make sense. Yeah. Now, I said, if there's any kind of deja vu about last year, I've had some great work opportunities come in now that are 100% guaranteed, and they're waiting. And it's going to set me up outside of boxing. If I get any kind of the slightest, faintest idea that this is happening again,
I'm done.
I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah.
End of. I don't care. And then I had some very horrific news, and I said to my dad, look, like, regarding the kids, I need some news now. This is very, very important now. I sat down with my dad. I said, like, my boy's in pieces. That something he'd heard regarding his mum.
Yeah, for sure.
Being ill. And it was horrific. So I said, like, look, I'm not in a position where I can wait around. Not if I'm going to be looking after him.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to be doing a Rio Ferdinand, you've got to be there.
This is not good. Depending. And it was, but it was. My kids was besides himself.
Yeah, and you can't gamble with life like that. You've got. I need something guaranteed. I can't be fucking about this. My kids need me.
I said to Mark, "Can you keep sending messages?" So he sent not phone calls, text messages.
Yeah.
Text messages. I have to highlight that. Text messages, so anyone can read them.
Yeah.
Anyone can read these messages. And then I get a date for the 24th of May. Boom, boy's birthday's the 25th. Gonna go over to Cyprus. My sponsors getting married over there, big wedding over there.
Yeah.
Heard nothing. Just getting close. Cancelled. Something else. I said, right, that's it.
Like you're taking the piss now.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple of weeks later, oh no, this is the press. I said, oh, I'm not doing it. I'm doing it. I'm going somewhere else. That's it, done. Got a very good job.
Yeah.
And then I said, once that's all sorted, kids are back and everything's straightened out, everything is done, I've racked all my money back up, then I'm going to fight again.
Yeah.
Say whatever you want. You can go on TV, you can say anything you want. You can say anything you want. Because I know.
Do you know the truth?
I know.
Yeah.
Say anything you want. I don't care. And that's what happened. And I'm fine with that. Because I know. Then I got a fight at York Hall. I said, just get me a fight. Got me a Russian fella.
Yeah.
I knocked him out. I went straight back in the top 5. Was supposed to fight. Just an opponent problem. Late notice. Couldn't jump on. I thought, alright, that's fine. Stayed at work. And then boom.
And now we come to present day.
And
Zuffa.
Yeah, man. Now I'm going over to Dublin. My whole family are up. My dad's family all Irish.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a big deal to go over there, man. It's like a very proud moment.
I'm going there next week actually for the O'Leary Chamberlain card.
Oh, that's a great card.
So I'm going to be there fight week, and I've never been in Dublin before. But Zuffa, how did you get the phone call? Who rang you? Did Dana White say, "I want you on my show, baby"?
I had to be unreal, right? But I don't know if that's how it went down or not. My manager phoned me.
He has to see the fighters because he's the boss, so he would have watched you and liked you anyway.
When I was in Saudi, it was my speech afterwards that actually got more views than the fight.
Oh, serious?
And the speech was accidental. I didn't train for the speech. That gave me the microphone, and I just spoke.
Hawani, is it?
Yeah, that's
it's
funny, isn't it? He came up to me, and I was a bit taken back because I thought, fucking hell, it's him. I'm a UFC fan. My son, we love it. And when I was talking to him, it was an accident. I didn't mean for it to come out how it come out.
Yeah,
it was really about my dad. Really, is come from fuck all, mate. So to stand there with my dad after I've just knocked out someone, defeated Brett, and I was supposed to lose very
for the opponent. You upset the apple cart.
Yeah. And it was a proud moment. But after that, my brother phoned me. He said, "Look, he was the most trending man on Twitter." Got something like a minute. I was like, you forgot Twitter.
All publicity is fucking good publicity.
Yeah.
So you got the phone call from Zuffa. So what did they just run the manager out the blue? Was he put the feelers out there? Like, come on.
My manager and my dad are back and forth because I said, look, because of how it went, which I'd never witnessed before. I'd heard people suffering in boxing, but I'd never had. My phone rang and I went and had fights. I think I was very lucky. Scotland, Poland. I'm Saudi. I'm visiting the world with my dad and my manager that I've had from day dot. And I would never have anyone else as a team. The best team. Been very blessed with having the people look after your best interests at heart. But as far as I was concerned, is my phone's rang. I've had some really good fights. Fought someone who was world champion.
Yeah.
Scar fought for an eliminator for the world title. I've won in people's back gardens when I'm supposed to lose.
Yeah.
Won belts. Beat some of the top years.
Commonwealth, Southern area. You've won a few times.
For the Southern area, that was a big deal because he's well rated now. I think he's in the top 10 for the WBO.
What's that mean? You've had a great career and you just live down the road, mate.
So I thought things were going to take off, and then when it went a bit funny, when this came out, I thought it was like a shock to the system because I was in. So I do a bit of the security stuff like yourself. That's one of the things I do.
Oh, okay.
And I was over in France on a job.
Are you doing CP or just Yeah.
I was doing a bit. And then my phone rang. We've had Zoff on the phone, fight in Dublin. I was like, fucking where? I said, yeah. Fucking what? I said, yeah. I suppose my dad was over the moon.
Yeah.
So now I just got to wait and see
how it goes.
How the future's going to pan out.
Is it a 3-fight deal, 1-fight deal? How does it work?
See how this one goes first. I mean, and then I think what they want to do is they want to do like almost like the UFC. They want to keep fighters fighting.
Yeah, that's it.
Because if you look at some of them boys on the bill, they fought and they're scheduled in for another fight straight away. And then if they lose, they're scheduled in for another fight straight away. If you go out there and you lose fucking 4 in the spin, you're going to lose your contract, which is people are going, is that a bit harsh? And I think, well, I've heard harsher stories.
Yeah, I think it's kind of, that's how we want boxing to be, because that's why fighters are only fighting once or twice a year, and it's making it a bit shit for the fans. Do you know what I mean? So I think what they're trying to do is really good. And yeah, it is a bit harsh, but that's life, man. Sometimes
life's hard.
Exactly. So I think it is good, because it really adds like some incentive there. So if you know, right, the winner who wins the fight is getting the biggest share of the money, then it makes the fight a bit more exciting and interesting, and then you know they're going to be out again straight away.
Well, even the loser, they match them straight away.
Exactly.
They're used and given. And if you look at when he had the Dustin Poirier in the UFC, Gaethje, Holloway, they were all fighting each other all the time. They was earning a fortune.
Yeah,
they was all consistently competing every event all the time, and I think that's just what I personally think is that's the idea, is that once they get a good, solid foundation stable, they're going to be, everyone's going to be competing all the time. And you can go anywhere. You go to America and fight. I'm going to Dublin and fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to tick these off my list. So when I get older, you can look at how many countries I've been to, the memories, the fights, the punch up, the wins.
Exactly. So you've got Saudi, Poland,
2 different parts of Poland. 2 different parts of Scotland.
Now Ireland,
Saudi, and now Ireland. Yeah.
So you've done all right. You've done all right, mate.
Yeah.
So I do think the Zuffa idea is a good idea, but it's just the stable's not that strong. But they're getting there, and so it's a good look. So basically, if you win this fight, then they're going to keep giving you fights, and if you lose, then what we're going to rematch you, or like, because how was it? Have they give you like a 1 fight deal, 2 fight, or they just said let's see how you go on this one?
I haven't, and I'll be completely honest. I never lie. I don't know. My manager knows, and my man knows. I don't want to know. I said the least I know, the better I felt, because I started to get involved a lot more. Like I wanted. In conversations, I'd be listening to a lot of the conversations, and whereas when I first started boxing, my dad would just go over fighting, and I'd go like,
yeah,
and I felt better doing it. Whereas it started to, when I come back from Saudi, I took on everything. I took on a nutritionist who was very good, really nice bloke. He was always involved. Then the strength stuff, and I had
strength and conditioning.
I tried it. Yeah, I had so many things that I was involved in, and I thought, do you know what? This is just a fucking headache.
It's a circus, isn't it? It's just getting too much.
And they're all great people, but sometimes I train early hours of the morning.
Yeah,
and then I train in the gym when it's empty. You know, when there's no one around. And I just like that. I just prefer that.
I think it's better unless you're training with someone who's, I don't know, like similar level to you, like, and similar weight class, so you're sparring, training together or whatever, maybe that can be alright. But if you've got a fight coming up and it's important, I think what you say, you need to just be on your own and focusing on you and developing your skills.
So I will know more after this, then I'll ask.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know nothing else. The least I think about any of that, the better, because I can just concentrate on the training. I'm very, very good shape at the minute.
Ignorance is bliss. I suppose you seem like a man like me. Like I've got a short temper sometimes. So if and it's about you, and the people are talking about this much money, this day, I bet you think just fucking let me say. And get on with it, please, guys.
I'm not patient.
Yeah.
Not when, with how things have been. Do you know what I mean? I'm not patient anyway, but sometimes you have to master that.
Yeah.
So that there's no fuck-ups. Because being too impatient, you can fuck things up. And
rush things through, and then things get...
Whatever. But everything is... it went from one 360, which I never see coming, and then it went to another one, this one I never see coming.
Well,
so
Zuffa, they're backed by Turkey Al Sheikh, Dana White. They've got regular shows on, so hopefully you should be fighting regular. What's your fight date? Do you know your opponent yet?
Yeah, it's the 8th of August.
8th of August,
and the fella is 16-2.
Yeah.
So
16-2.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I'm not sure of his name. I don't really watch the opponents. He's a Romanian fella.
Okay, and I think it's a 6-rounder as well, isn't it?
6 rounds this one.
The 6 rounds, so looking forward to that. I really appreciate you coming. Before you go, I'm going to play one little game with you. It's called 3 Rounds with Boxing Bros UK.
Okay.
So I'll ask you three questions. So first one, I want you to name 3 fighters that are active now that you love watching, like as a fan. So it doesn't matter who, world champion, Southern Area champion, just that you like to watch them fight. You'll go to York Hall or you'll watch them on the box.
Conor Walker, Beterbiev,
okay,
and Benavidez.
Benavidez. Do you know what? You look like Beterbiev a little bit.
Sometimes when I was in Saudi, someone said, "They look at Chatham's Beterbiev."
Yeah,
Chatham's.
Well, you look a little bit like Beterbiev. Good choice. To be fair, he's one of my favourite current fighters, Beterbiev, because he's just unstoppable, isn't he? Beast.
His personality as well is very, very humble and disciplined. Great role model.
You do them press ups that he does, like on his fucking wrists and then on his knuckles.
No, I do the knuckles. Do them on your wrists, man. That takes years of conditioning.
Then he does it on his knuckles, then he does it on his fingers. He's an animal.
Forearms must be like metal.
Yeah. Because you know, thinking about them to you, he failed a drugs test, yeah? Then he proved that he's just naturally got testosterone levels like
Callum Smith.
Yeah. And he's actually naturally got testosterone levels as if he's on the gear. Like
He's never smoked, never drank. He's only ever drank water.
Yeah.
Chechen drink. So listen, you don't know what they're doing at them levels.
True.
I know. It's a history, mate.
It's naturally. So he's like 40, and people are like, what can it be that high, that age? Well, they proved it, like he's had loads of tests done, like he's just...
The level's all the same.
Yeah, and he's always had high testosterone from being 20, and that's just how it is. So he's just so lucky. He looks like he's on gear, but he ain't, apparently, because it's that high.
Wow.
So, round 2, 3 legends from the past that you love, like your Ali's, Dempsey, Jack Johnson, all them guys. Who do you like? 3 fighters, your favourite 3 fighters from the past? Or just name 3, I know there's loads.
Jack Dempsey, Marvin Hagler, and Roberto Duran.
Marvin Hagler, and I always pick Roberto Duran, like, have you seen the Hands of Stone movie with Robert De Niro in the new one?
No.
Watch it, it's a good watch. Robert De Niro plays his coach.
Okay.
In it, yeah, but...
I could say that, but then there's too many.
Yeah, we've got the Prince Nazim film that's coming as well. Yeah,
I could say other fighters, man, but there's too many that I watched, but I watch them.
Yeah, so they're 3 good ones. With boxing, when you're a fan, you could name about 30 fighters that you love to watch. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So, right, round 3, final question. Who's going to win, AJ or Tyson Fury when they fight? Your prediction?
I think... If Fury goes out gunning in round 1,
yeah,
he could potentially get him. But I think of both of their performances, I don't know.
Because I think Fury's one wasn't on TV, but I heard it was bad. He didn't look good, and Maurice Wax's like nearly 50.
Yeah, it didn't look. I watched bits of it. I don't know. I don't.
Come on, if someone put a gun to your head and said, who's going to win, AJ Joshua? What are you saying?
Fury.
Fury? All right. It's been a pleasure, my man. I really thank you. Good luck. I'm going to be rooting for you. 8th of August, Zuffa Dublin show. Watch him. Watch Louis Green. This is a local legend. Support your boy in Medway. All right. Thank you, my man.
Thank you.
All right.
Telling you to check out Boxing Bros UK.
Boxing Bros UK here. in association with Last Bell Boxing, and I'm with Alberto Puello. Was that right? Puello. Nearly. It's an honor to meet you.
Mucho gusto.
Like, you had a great fight with Matisse. Should have won.
Debías haberle ganado a Matisse.
Do you think you softened him up for Dalton?
¿Crees que le pusiste un poco blando para que después Dalton entrara a noquearle? Claro que sí. Dalton en mí encontró un Subriel Matías golpeado ya por mis puños y se lo puso un poquito más fácil. Yeah, of course. What happened was after Subriel Matías faced me, because he faced so many shots, so many punches, it was a lot easier for Dalton Smith.
Okay. So, because Dalton, obviously, it was a hard fight. He stopped him, but it could have gone wrong. What did you take from that fight? What did you think?
Fue una pelea dura para Dalton Smith.
Dalton's performance, yeah.
Lo noqueó al final, pero fue una pelea dura, complicada. ¿Qué opinaste de la pelea, de cómo se desenvolvió? Claro que sí, una pelea bastante dura para Dalton Smith. Cualquiera de los dos pudo haber salido noqueado. Él se llevó la victoria por nocaut y más que bien merecida. Me sorprendió mucho, como a muchas personas también. Yeah, you're right. You know, in that fight, anyone could have been knocked out. It was a really tough fight. You have to say that it was Dalton who got the knockout, and it was more than deserved. And to be honest, it surprised everyone.
Sure. So, given of the last time he faced Matisse, like a lot of people thought he won, didn't get the decision. You're in Sheffield now. This is like his hometown, Dalton's hometown. Are you not worried, like if it goes to round 8, that you might not get the decision? Or are you not worrying about it because you're going for the KO?
Sí, obviamente, en tu pelea con Subriel Matías, muchos pensaron que habías ganado, pero al final no te llevaste a la decisión. Ahora estás en Sheffield, en la casa de Dalton Smith. ¿Te preocupa de que si va a la distancia a la pelea, que pueden también haber problemas? ¿O eso significa que lo vas a salir a noquear a tu oponente? No, para nada me preocupa. No voy a salir a noquearlo ya que el knockout sale solo. Voy a salir a hacer mi trabajo, a ganarle una pelea limpia y llevarme la victoria, y los jueces tendrán la decisión. Los jueces no tendrán otra decisión más que levantarme la mano. No, it's not a case of me being worried, and I'm not going to go out straight to try and knock him out, because I'm going to go out to do my work, to win the fight in a clean way, and the judges won't have too much of a tough decision to make, and the only one they will be able to make will end with me having my hand raised.
Okay, I know he's busy, so I'm going to play a little game that we play. 3 rounds in Boxing Bros UK. So first round, I want him to name 3 active fighters that he likes to watch as a fan.
Okay.
Just as a fan, don't mean that they have to be world beaters, and it can't be anyone in his stable.
Okay. Este pequeño juego que dicen 3 boxeadores activos que te gusta como si estuvieras como si fueras un fanático, y no pueden ser boxeadores en tu estado. Terence Crawford.
Yeah. He's retired though.
Sí, pero no, él te envolve todavía.
Yeah. Okay.
Shakur Stevenson. Shakur? Yeah.
For sure.
No puede ser mi tabla. Can't be in his stable.
Can't be in stable, man.
Alberto Puello. Yo como fanático.
I'll let you have that one.
He's a fan of himself. Alberto
Yeah, you've got to be. Someone has to. No, I'm joking.
Hey, claro.
But, second one, 3 legends of the past. The legends. Like Ali, Fraser, Holmes, Hagler. Only 3. We haven't got all day.
Number 1, para mí, el que más me ha gustado, Pernell Whitaker. Yeah, for me, number 1, Pernell Whitaker.
I thought you said Ben Whitaker. I was going, fuck off. He's an idiot.
Ben Whitaker primero que el otro. No.
Yeah, Pernell Whitaker.
También Marvin Hagler. Yeah, Marvin Hagler.
Yes.
Y Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Third one, last one. Who beat the better Matisse? You or Dalton Smith?
¿Quién le ganó o quién le ganaría al mejor Matías? ¿Tú o Dalton Smith? Porque hablando de que si pensamos que le ganaste a su piel, ¿quién le ganó la mejor versión de Matías? ¿Dalton Smith o tú?
Alberto Puello.
Good, thank you so much.
Telling you to check out Boxing Bros UK.
Shout out to Boxing Bros UK.
Thanks, brother.
Cheers, bro. Thanks.
Everybody, this is Boxing Bros UK here. I am a Hiss the Boss Chris. It's my co-host Andrew the Boxing Brain. And we've got a special guest again, Ollie Jones from Squeeze the Neck podcast. Boom, boom.
Hello, Ollie.
The topic of the day is, Andrew?
Moses versus White. Couldn't be anything else, could it? You know, we've got to discuss this after a week. Plus, obviously, local Chatham boy to us. Right, probably quite near where you live, Chris. Actually, you're right in the heart of Chatham.
Yeah, I used to work at his gym. He used to be a member of Rochester Health Club, even his brother.
Ropes and Glory, nearly opposite the Magistrates, which is interesting. But yeah, listen, we got to start with White because we're probably going to wax lyrical about Moses after. One we'll start with Ollie, our guest again. I think you see it straight away, don't you, on social media? Oh, he took a dive, or he payday, the rest of it. We can't, can we, Ollie? We can't go, oh, this is a step up for Moses. White's going to give him rounds. He's in great shape. We can't say that. Then after he demolishes him and done his job, go, oh, yeah, but actually White was no good. Like, I hate it when that happens. Do you agree?
People always do that, though, do they? You know what I mean? Like after recently, we mentioned it on the last one about we was talking briefly about Johnny Fisher. The amount of people ever go, oh, Johnny Fisher's rubbish now, and he's no good. And it's like, listen, what do you know about it for starters? But secondly, it's like, it's easy to be, you know, clever after the fact, isn't it? Armchair quarterback, I think they call it. Listen, he's it's one of them fights that, especially this one, whatever way this went, I think this was going to be one of them ones that people was going to give it. I told you, if Dylan White gave him the sort of old man treatment and bullied him up close and won on points or something, people would have gone, I knew he weren't ready. And listen, it's just idiots trying to be clever, isn't it? You know. But I think we'll come on to him, obviously, as you said, Moses. But I think he's the real deal, man. I think he's, you know, he's run into someone at a time in his career, Dillian, where, I mean, by the sounds of things and everyone's speaking about it, you know, he's financially set. He's done great for himself. He hasn't won a world title, but outside of that, he's done pretty much everything in boxing. I think an element, he's not old. He's 37, right? And especially as a heavyweight, if you look after yourself, he's not old. He came in, I think someone said it was his lightest for 10 years. So he's in shape for the fight. And I think sometimes you can be a bit satisfied with what you've done. So I don't know if he's in that category. But I think sometimes you just run into someone who's on the up and up. And like Moses the Town was, that's a special cat right there, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Well said, mate. Chris, what do you think? Do you think, because we were talking, weren't we, about White? He's looking, I know he's obviously been very inactive, but people were saying, no, he's going to potentially be a big step up for him if he can sort of find some old form. What do you think with this then saying after, no good?
Firstly, I was saying to everybody, just because Dylan White's in shape doesn't mean that all of a sudden he's 25 again and he's got his prime back. It just means that he's in good shape. He's still inactive. He's still been knocked out badly, cold, oxygen in the ring 3 times. You can be in the best shape of your life. If you haven't got it anymore, you haven't got it anymore. Even me, I hurt my chest. Might have looked good. I thought I could bench press 170 like I did when I was in my early 30s. And it exploded my chest because I looked as big and as good as I did when I was younger. So in my mind, I thought I was.
On the clock, boys. Miles are on the clock.
Exactly. So the best chance to win, but the fact of the matter is, I said it before, he's still going to get knocked out inside 3 rounds because it doesn't matter how good shape he's in. Too much miles on the clock, too much inactivity. He just hasn't. And his style is relying on his ruggedness, his athletic, and even his pop and his punches had gone.
Resilience.
It was all gone. So he could have been in the best shape, strength and condition, everything you want. It was still going to lose that fight inside 3 rounds for me because he's just too old, been knocked out too many times, too inactive. He just had no chance before. And it's not going to improve just because he's in shape. Because like you say with the car analogy, the car can look the best, but you look at the front of that engine and it's fucking old and it's fucked. But it looks good on the outside.
You can refurb it as much as you like, but you know the miles on them clock are still there.
It's not going to come back. You can't undo it.
Yeah.
Did you hear rumours about Dylan's foot? Apparently, fight week, some of the journalists were hearing that Dylan's got a problem with his foot. I hadn't heard anything about it beforehand, but after it seemed like a thing. And it hasn't come from Dylan, right? So
it's
a
great question, Ollie. I think Sonny Edwards come out and reported it. I'm not sure where he's got the information. Right. Sonny Edwards come out and said Dillian Whyte had a bad leg injury. Now, of course, people are all, oh yeah, his ring entrance he was walking weird. People start, but apparently. What do you make of that, Ollie, before we get Chris's take of it?
I mean, I don't think it's come from Dylan, has it? So I think Dylan's the sort...
he dismissed it, apparently, Ollie. He dismissed it, but...
He dismissed it, all right. Good. And I mean, some of these things, I think everyone that's ever fought knows that you go in there with something, right? There's always something a bit niggly and whatnot.
Yeah.
However bad it was, I just feel Dylan's cut from that cloth of he'll never make an excuse. And I don't think anyone should. Because at the end of the day, listen, you're as good as you were on that night, and he took the fight, and what's happened. And I think whether he had a bad foot, he was missing a leg, or his head was chopped off, that's what happened. It went down how it went down, and that's it.
Chris, what's your take on that bit of information? Is that sort of do you roll your eyes, or you're like,
yeah, I just think. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter if he had rocket boots on. He weren't winning that fight, mate.
Maybe the best version of Dillian Whyte weren't going to win that fight, boys.
No, this is what I was saying. Even Dylan, in his absolute prime, fit, we don't even know if he can win that fight. We don't know. Because I think Moses is the real deal.
Yeah, Gareth A. Davis as well, and he said a few good points about things as well. And what's interesting, apparently, Dillian Whyte's got a son who's 4 years older than Moses Atauma.
Yeah, I heard that.
Because he's the youngest father in the UK.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Was he 13? Was he?
My mate who I went uni with, he went high school with Dylan. I said they used to call him Fat Dillian. And they said he was just this kid, come over from Jamaica when he was 12. He's always bigger than everybody. Everyone's scared of him. All the girls liked him and that. Boom, then he babbied up some bird after a year. When he was 13.
Should he retire now? But would you want to see him fight again, I guess is my question. Or
yeah, it's a good question. I think, firstly, it's always up to the fighter. Do you know what I mean? Because it's what he feels, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's the one that's got to go to bed at night and knows what's still left in the tank. And I think it's easy as well sometimes for people to fall in. He's just lost in devastating fashion. But look who he's lost. He's lost to a special guy, right? There's no reason he can't still go out there and beat, 90% of heavyweights, say. I don't know what he's got left on him in it, really. In terms of me personally, I don't want to see him fight anymore because I don't think I think it's fairly obvious he's not what he was. And when a fighter's been as good as they have and they keep fighting and they're ending up getting losses, like, I know I'm not putting him in the same category, but someone like Audley Harrison at the end of his career, people sort of make a fast of him. But if you look, he was Olympic gold medalist, and you look at some of the wins he had, he was a European champion, all that. But now people, again, not that they know what they're talking about, but they make a bit of a fast of him. So personally, I wouldn't want to see him fight. But listen, he can still fight, can't he? You know what I mean? He's as tough as they come, Dylan. His chin might have gone a bit, but if he wants to fight, I want to see him fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Chris, I mean, all he's saying there, for the sake of his legacy, maybe it's now a time to bow out. You're going to look back and go, he's lost to Povetkin, AJ, Fury, and the second coming of Ahmad, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali. Ain't a bad resume, is it, Chris?
No. And he's got some good wins as well. He's beat Povetkin. He's beat Joseph Parker, and the way that he lost against the Fury loss was bad, but the way that he lost to Povetkin, it was swinging it out, and then he come back and avenged it, and that's why I love it.
That was, mate. Uppercut from fucking nowhere, wasn't it?
He's changed, Back in the day, if you hit Dylan, we've seen it in the AJ fight, he'll just stand his ground and start swinging windmills. He didn't do that. It's like AJ, against Fury and against Moses Atuma. When he got hit, he didn't start swinging like a madman and think, fuck it, I'm going to try and knock them out and get knocked out. He kind of just went all sheepish and backed up and just got himself knocked out anyway. So where he's lost that, I think maybe take the AJ fight just for the rematch for himself. Like, if he feels he can fight on, because he didn't really get to show what he's got left, then take the right fights like an AJ fight or, something with a bit of like nostalgia to it. But as trying to be a contender or whatever, I don't think he can carry on there. But if he wants to carry on fighting, earn some money, why not?
If he did carry on, I mean, what would we be looking at? Chisora free? I think Chisora wants his last fight to be a mega one if he can. But where would you kind of, if you were his promoter, if he said, right, I want one more, who would you match him up with as a kind of like goodbye kind of fight.
I think there's a lot of things about the Chisora one that is good, but at the same time, I wouldn't go for that one if I was in his camp, because I think you got 2 wins over him, right? And Chisora, I don't think falls into the category where his chin's in question yet. You know what I mean? I'd probably look at someone like a Johnny Fisher, you know, as a name in the game, and I'd still fancy Dylan White to beat him. Do you know what I mean? So if I was in that camp, that's probably the angle I'd go at, someone like that.
Good shout, good shout. So
you know what? For Johnny Fisher, that's a big risk as well. Obviously, you know what? That's a good fight for both, because you don't know. Everyone will write Dylan White off.
Yeah.
But I think because of Fisher's not got the best boxing ability, Dylan White could actually win that.
Or even revisit Joe Joyce. He was lined up to fight Joe, wasn't he, at one point? Joe Joyce might not be a bad fight.
That's still a good fight, Ollie.
Yeah.
I'd still, if he's going to do like a last year, because sometimes I think with sportsmen in general, and it's a difficult to know when, because I don't want to go out like that. All right, we know what Moses Atoma is probably going to become, but he may be, you know, get a win, and then the problem is you get a win, and he thinks, oh, I've still got it, carry on.
And listen, maybe he has. Maybe Matt Moses is that good. Moses is just that guy.
It was good, but he got stopped. But that's what I was going to ask. Stoppage, right? Stoppage, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, good question. I should have had that one down, Chris. Well done for calling me out on that. Absolutely, for me, I agree with Ollie.
Yeah.
I know people are saying, oh, maybe, you know, why? He clearly was completely out. He was no way he was going to win that at all.
If you fall on your face, that's bad. He fell on his face. I know he used his hands to stop it, but you could just see in the first round, he's already backing up to the ropes. It would have just been.
And it's so
survival mode.
No, let him fight another day.
We're back and forth here. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was early. I mean, stop that fight. Get him out of there.
100%. That was a good stoppage. At first, I was like, no, I'll give him a chance, but I was just in my feelings because I like Dylan. When I was watching it properly on the replay, I thought, good stoppage. He would have got up and he would have been out.
Yeah.
Because then he would have had to come out swinging and he would have just got counted. It's like Jamie TKV said, don't come at Moses. You can't come at him. You've got the only way to beat him. That's what Jamie TKV, when we interviewed him, you can't come at Moses. You got to let him, your best chance is let him come to you. Even that's bad because his reflexes, especially if he's so good and he's 20, you're fucked. You can't just go at him. That's not the way to win. You got to let him come.
I'll ask you first. Comparing, I was looking at some a bit sad like this. I was looking at some of AJ and Fury's early fights, who are seen as big heavyweights. This generation of heavyweights fucking make me and Chris look quite small, and we're quite big fellas. They're all 6'5", 6'6", Wilder, Fury, all massive boys now, aren't they? But Fury and AJ were seen as quite. Fury was seen as athletic, but if Fury was seen as a good mover, quite coordinated, AJ, fast hands. Have you seen a heavyweight, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
In our generation, we weren't around when Muhammad Ali was here. Have you seen a heavyweight with this level of the way he puts his punches together, the way he's in and out, the coordination, the accuracy? Have you seen anything like it for such a big man, like for a long time? Because I haven't.
I think if you think back to like Lennox Lewis's early career when he was in his 20s, he wasn't doing this kind of stuff, really. He was not at all. Even, I'd probably say the only heavyweight, because I like watching a lot of the old fighters, I'd probably say like Ali when he was coming out of the Olympics and he was making all that noise and he was wanting to fight Sonny Liston. He's the only one who you can kind of like compare for speed and quickness and stuff like that. Let's just go to British fighters. Frank Bruno in his 20s. Wasn't doing what Moses was doing. Neither was Lennox Lewis. And I can't think of any other heavyweights that were doing what he's doing now. So that's got to bode well for the future, for sure. But I will say, when Hrgovic was 20, that's what people were saying about him. This is the future, blah, blah, blah. And he was so good and he had all them silky skills, not the power. So we still got to wait and see. But I do think he's the real deal. And it's his attitude. His attitude is so... He's not loud, he's not brash, he's very humble and he's very sensible in the way he talks. He said, I want to go my whole career without getting my chin tested. Because it's nothing to be proud of to say that you can take a shot. He said, I want to be proud to say no one can ever hit me on the chin because I'm that good. That kind of mentality, that's the right mentality to have a long career. A successful career in this game. Yeah, he's the real deal going forward for sure.
Nice one, Chris. I want to get your take on that because I just find it fascinating. I haven't seen anything like it. But what's your take on what Chris was saying there, Ollie?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to it. Going back in time for heavyweights that could move. Like the one that comes to my mind is Mike Tyson. I know it's a different type of movement, but he could bounce here, there, and everywhere, make you miss and do his thing. like the power and the speed and everything like that. But I don't know if you boys are sort of UFC fans or anything like that. There's a few athletic guys in that heavyweight division over the years. But it's a little bit different because there's more going on, right? You're looking at sprawls, takedowns, all that kind of stuff. So bouncing and moving on your feet makes a bit more sense. Whereas, let's be honest, if you're a big 6'6", 110 kilo man, it ain't the easiest thing to do to bounce around on your feet, is it, for 12 rounds, you know? So, and I think if people are getting used to stiff jab and walking people down as we say, like a young man when you're becoming a heavyweight, if you like, because a lot of heavyweights, like Moses Atama apparently has been fighting at heavyweight, like sparring, heavyweight since he was 15 years old. You know what I mean? So like, for him, I would imagine, and I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine he's been dealing with people that were bigger and stronger than him, right? So he's had to do that. So now suddenly he's bigger and stronger than all them. He's still got that. It makes everything fall together easy.
The speed and everything seems to be carrying with him. Whether he can maintain that phrase, because we saw that with Mike Tyson, that kind of fell off, didn't it? But
I think with Mike Tyson, he did it to himself. By like kilos of cocaine and having parties and shit.
That probably don't help,
If you read his books, he fucked himself.
Stop training right as well.
He got rid of his coach that was a direct student of course. He got rid of his
dying, obviously.
Sniffing cocaine. He said even one of his fights, he had syphilis. He was taking antibiotics. He had a fucking STI. So his decline was only to do with drugs and partying. He could have been a legend if he had a discipline. He is a legend, but he could have been better if he stayed focused and disciplined.
I'm gonna come to Wally next on this one, and it's just a question you have to ask. Are we just in danger a little bit though, Wally, of maybe hyping? We have to remember he's 20. And we're talking about people like Cabello and Parker just to give him rounds. I mean, that's insane.
I don't think so. I think he's the real deal, you know. And it's like what Chris was saying about his maturity and stuff. If you listen to him speak, you wouldn't think that's a 20-year-old kid, would you? You know what I mean? He sounds like he's about 30 and he's been in the game for 10 years. You know what I mean? Like,
looked it as well.
Looked it, everything. I just think he's got all the physical and mental attributes going for him. I just feel like he's good. And especially this day and age, it's easy to say like people like Mike Tyson, who we've used as an example. You could go off the rails back in the day. Of course, you still can now, but the world's different. Like he's probably got people around him that are sort of taking care of everything he's got to be worried about outside. So I would imagine, I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine he wakes up on a Monday morning and the only thing he's got to worry about is going to the gym. Do you know what I mean? So I think that takes a lot. That's it. So I think that takes a lot of problems out of your hands, doesn't it? But yeah, no, I think this kid is, as soon as Usyk retires, I don't see anyone beating this kid, man. I think he's going to be, if he wants to be and he keeps on the right path, I think he'll be undisputed champion for years. I think he's the best. I think he's the best out there.
There you go, Chris. Ollie speaks very highly, you know, he believes in his talent. Do you go along with that? Are you a bit concerned, mate?
I'm not concerned. I think, you know, after Usyk beat Dubois, and Turki Al-Sheikh said, I want Moses Usyk next. I believe that Moses is the only person who can probably beat Usyk. If we break it down, Parker's already had his chance. He's already been a world champion. And he's had his chance. And I think he's good, but I don't think he can beat Usyk. Cabello, he's a great body puncher. But I still think he's not going to be able to beat Usyk. We don't know how good Moses is, And he did want to beat Mike Tyson's record. That was his goal. He's not been able to achieve that, but he backed himself to do that. And the people that were champ were Usyk, Tyson. Like Josh said, our friend is a cruiserweight. He trains with Moses quite a bit. And when Moses came out, he was saying, he's going to beat Tyson's record. And I was saying, he's not. He might be good enough, but the politics, he's never going to get a shot. Never. Because of the politics and rankings, how it works now. But if he's got a chance to become the youngest ever undisputed champ in a 4-belt era, and he's the only one who's got the speed to keep up with Usyk. No one else is really that quick, and he's probably maybe a little bit quicker. Yeah, he hasn't got the experience, but again, go back to the past when Ali was supposed to fight Sonny Liston. They were like, why are you letting this loudmouth fight Sonny Liston? It's Sonny Liston. He's not ready, he's too green. What happened? He knocked him out, and then he knocked him out again in the rematch quicker. I say, and if Moses loses to Usyk, he can still go on and dominate the division. But if he wins, it's great. And if Usyk beats up Moses, it's great for his legacy that he beat the future, like when Mayweather beat Canelo. So I think that fight's a win-win, and I think he's ready, and I think he should take that fight next. So that's how much I'm backing Moses, that I think it's going to be... I couldn't tell you who's going to win if them two fought.
I want to quickly get Ollie's take on that, what you said there about you're throwing him in there against Usyk and would he win? Yeah. I mean, I agree with Chris. It's probably a win-win. If he loses to Usyk, it's generational talent, Usyk and all the rest of it. But I think just maybe he hasn't been in with anyone in the pro ranks, at least, with that level of experience and know-how of Usyk, and that might just get Usyk over the line for me. Ollie, I want to get your opinion on that. If Moses fights Usyk next, how does that play out, mate? Just in your head.
I don't see him beating Usyk now. I think he needs another year or so, to sort of keep going. But
rounds.
It's like Usyk's great. You was at the fight, right? You was at the Dubois fight.
Yeah.
Mate, how great is that guy? He's on another level entirely. He does. He's just, obviously it don't take me to sit here and say how great he is, but he glides, he does his thing. Like, it wasn't even a fight to me. You know what I mean? Dubois had nothing for it. But also, I think there's an element of if he retires undefeated Usyk, you've got the new generation, and there's that. If he loses, I know what you're saying about it doesn't really matter, but in some ways it does because he lost, right? And then it does take your lure away a little bit if you're not undefeated anymore.
Yeah.
And especially if Usyk beats him, you got to think Usyk's going to expose him if he was to win, right? It's not it's not a foregone conclusion he'll win because Moses could chin him, of course, but you got to fancy if Usyk was, it'd be like every other Usyk fight. He'd figure him out and he'd sort of outclass.
Cheers, Ollie. Good insights.
Yeah, we've lost Squeezing Net podcast. He had a bit of technical difficulties, but we're going to get him on again.
We're going to carry on. Couple more good questions. It's looking like, not an exciting name, Jermaine Franklin, Chris, is the top runner. I understand it because he gave AJ and White, he took them 12 rounds a couple of years ago. He's been pretty inactive though. I was looking, he hasn't fought since May last year. So on paper it looks good, Chris Franklin, but actually I think Moses will just blow him away. I really do. What do you make of that? Because looking like Franklin is the lead runner at the moment for his next fight.
Yeah.
I won't talk sport, by the way.
I won't worry about the activity too much because now, these days, fighters only fight once a year, twice if they're lucky. Let's have it right.
Heavyweights as well.
Yeah, especially at the highest level. It's once or twice a year. So I think that's starting to be the theme now and that people are used to it. I don't think he'll blow him away because Franklin is very good at not getting himself knocked out, When he fought Dylan, when he fought AJ, this will be a good fight where Moses is going to have to fight someone who is good at running away and not engaging. And he's going to have to figure it out and he could get frustrated. He could get maybe 3 or 4 rounds out of it. But I think that's the wrong move. He needs a challenge. I think him and Hrgovic should fight because Hrgovic has got the beard to take his shots and still be there and fire back. And I just think he needs someone.
I like the Hrgovic fight. I really like that fight.
So do I.
I think that's a great match because I think I see Moses winning either way, points or knockout, but I think Hrgovic gives him a little bit of a run for his money.
And Hrgovic will be there coming to win, something to prove. This will be a competitive fight, could go the distance, and he'll definitely get rounds. There's no way he's not blowing Hrgovic out. I think that's the best fight because you can't keep saying someone's a special talent and then putting them in fights that we know they're going to win. You've got to have a proper baptism of fire.
Yes,
steel sharpens steel. He needs a proper test.
Do you think Hrgovic? I know they both work. I know obviously Hrgovic and his team work with Queensbury. Do you think Hrgovic would take that fight if the money's right? If they put a few mil on the table, do you see Hrgovic taking it?
100. Because even if he does, gets a title shot next. This is throwing a spanner in the works though that I didn't think Usyk was going to do. Usyk's going to fight Parker and defend his undisputed titles.
Is that looking likely? Because I haven't seen the latest on that yet. Is that looking...
yeah, so basically, Usyk's got an injury, so he said he wants more time to negotiate the fight with Parker. Don't take my belt from me. I'm injured. Sent WBO a doctor's note proving the injury. So he's not saying, oh, fuck it, I'll vacate. So it's looking like Usyk's in his mind is thinking, I don't want to give my belts up, and I want to carry on fighting, and he's going to fight Parker next. It's look, because if you weren't going to fight Parker, and you're injured, why not just vacate it and say, oh, I'm injured anyway, fuck it, yeah. Let Parker and Moses. He's not doing that. He's saying, I'm injured. I need more time to negotiate the fight, please. So I can judge how long the injury is to how long I'm going to need to be ready to fight for the fight. So it's looking like he's not vacating and he wants to keep the belt and he wants to fight Parker.
I'm pleased for Parker on that, actually. I know that's probably a separate video, but that, Parker deserves it. I sort of had or theory whether Moses is going to ever have that. He's a very stoic, down-to-earth person. I just wonder whether is he going to have that crossover appeal that we saw with Fury and AJ, or is it too early to tell?
I think he is. He just needs to get them signature wins because don't forget the reason why AJ had that appeal because he was knocking people out in the O2 every month, nearly not every month, but he was fighting regularly and he was knocking them out in style, and he was doing it in front of the British fans. And he was making all the right moves, going on Graham Norton. He was going on a league of their own. He was doing everything.
Good looking, that helped as well. Looks great.
Yeah.
That all does help, though, doesn't it?
That's
Fury
it.
obviously had a massive personality. I think to have that crossover appeal, that X factor, because I look at the kind of Boots Ennis, Crawford, that kind of massive talents, but they're not worldwidely famous.
No.
Whereas AJ and Fury, to Mayweather, Mike Tyson, Ali, household names. And I get that's my thing. I'm like, does Atoma have that X factor where, he could be an undisputed, probably will be. Will he be that kind of household? I think probably he could with the right marketing, but I'm just interested because he has got that very mature and composed. He doesn't say too much, but says what he needs to, and that's it,
Well, even if he doesn't, he can earn it on his achievements.
Yeah.
Usyk, no one really cared about him. No one really knew. But because of his achievements in boxing, now it's impossible to deny. No one can deny or look at him and think, no, he's not great, or they don't want to watch him. It's not like when Vladimir was on top. No matter what Vladimir did, we all hated him because his fights were shit and boring. Let's have it right. They were. They were shit and boring, and no one wanted to watch them. But
1-2 grab.
Yeah, but with Usyk, they weren't. His fights got more and more exciting and better as they went on, as he come into his own in the heavyweight division, and now it's undeniable on his achievements. Everyone loves him because we're British fans. We love boxing,
and his personality's come out a little bit more, which I think helped. And I think, you're right. It's a fair point because I think with Usyk as well, I think as people got to know him as a man more and a proud patriotic Ukrainian and the war effort and how he comes across and, being a promoter of female boxing. And I think that all raised his profile as well. So at the end of the day, Moses is 20 and I saw him in an interview today, actually, and this said it all. He said, look, I'm not in this game to be a superstar. He said, it's a byproduct of it. I've been boxing since I was 9. I just love to box. And I think that says a lot about him and his team. They're just keeping his head nice and small. Yeah, anything else to add, Chris, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, just one thing. Have you heard that he got dropped in sparring? So Shane Briggs alluded to it. He said, I heard he got dropped in sparring a couple of times. So who do you think it was? And what do you make of it?
I've forgotten the name, actually, because, as you know, Josh and Joseph, who I sort of reference quite a lot, obviously Joshua knows him very well, Joshua Antonio, and they actually told me the name of the guy that's now eluded. They told me who it was because Moses spoke about it, and apparently, you heard it here, Moses really pissed off about that as well, apparently.
Why was it a cheap shot?
I know, he just was pissed off that he got dropped because that's how much of how good he wants to be.
Yeah.
He was just frustrated with it, which shows again.
So it's true then, it's true.
I believe it's true, and I wish I just have forgotten. It's someone you wouldn't think who was a decent heavyweight, but never really forgotten his name. It doesn't fucking matter. People get dropped in sparring. The thing is, you're working on stuff. You're maybe going to take more. You're going to take more chances in sparring that you're maybe going to do in the fight. You're going to take risks. Your chin's in the air. You switch. It happens. I never read too much into it because also allegedly, Chris, he sparred Dubois a lot and battered him. Right? Allegedly, I'm not. Don't all start shouting at me in the comments, all you Dubois fanboys. But allegedly, he smashed him to bits in sparring. But that doesn't necessarily mean he'd smash him to bits if they fought now in the pro ring. Not necessarily. So I don't know if you disagree with any of that, what I said, but that's my take with all that.
I totally agree. If someone gets dropped in sparring, who cares? Did he get dropped in the ring? No, he did not. That's what counts.
Like, sub, helps us out. We're still growing. Would really appreciate that. Comments.
Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Known that they've got a big fight when Boxing Bros is in town. That's when you know. That's when you know. So
the Billericay bomber, George Liddell, he'd done it. He's won the European title. He beat the Italian champion and stopped him in 8 rounds. It was a good fight while it lasted. Italian champion Dario Morello. I interviewed him. Very nice guy, actually, funny guy. He had an unorthodox style, swinging from his hips and stuff like that. What a chin on this Italian geezer, and he never gave up. Anytime he got caught hard, he came back firing. He swung from his hips. It was a bit weird, like, you don't swing from your hips. It was a bit, I don't know. I've never, like, you leave yourself too open, swinging so wide from your hips instead of fighters know what I mean. So that was his only issue. But hell of a heart, hell of a chin. Always stayed in there, made it entertaining, being a bit slick, but getting caught at times. What is next for the Billericay Bomber? What is next for this guy? Well, he said in a post-fight interview next year he wants to have a world title fight. He said, "I'll be a world champ next year, or I want a title shot next year," something along them lines. So if he wants to have a title shot next year, these are his options, the best options, I believe. Obviously, Alessandro Lara, 40 years old. Oh, 43. He's 43. And he's a world champion, not regular champion, super champion. He fights once a year. He's not got a fan-friendly style, so he doesn't really get to fight big names, and he's been champion for years now. And no one wants to smoke with him. Obviously, you're not going to make money because it's a boring fight. And even though he's 43, he's still got skills, man. But his style's just horrible. But he's still got skills. So you could lose to a 43-year-old man and have a horrible fight and have a blemish on your career as, you stunk the place out. It's just... So he can go that route, which is... Obviously, he's inactive. Obviously, he's 43. Definitely a good chance of beating him next. 100%. And getting himself a strap. Yeah, go get the strap. A bit on the middleweight ladder, you know what I mean? So his other choice, a little bit harder, a bigger mountain to climb, IBF champ. Roll the dice, be a hell of a story, a hell of a fight if you won. Aaron McKenna, you could do that. You could do that massive in Ireland as well. Obviously, because he's a champ, got to fight him in. That could be a big fight. But a lot of people will say, rushing him is too soon. But he said it, world champion next year. If he did need, he wanted to be a world champ next year or have a title shot next year. And these are two people who've got belts. Yeah, Carlos Adames is nowhere like Carlos Adames. Middleweight division is not very strong, but he's the best in the division. Next step fight he should get the ring belt. He's the man there, even though he's not unified or whatever. So definitely love to see this fight. I doubt it. They do it that soon. So if he doesn't take a world title fight next and he has a fight in between, these are my picks of fights that I think he should have. This guy's got a lot of talent. He's exciting. Obviously he's not really had that test. So fighting Lara or McKenna might have been a step too far. So I think maybe have an in-between fight, just either a baptism of fire or another little step up and make a lot of money. So these are the two fights that I would like to see him in next. The money fight. Yes, Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. I know he's old and he's past it and he never really quite made it, but he's got quite a high ranking in some of the governing bodies, ranked number 3. He's a name. He could have an American debut fighting Shane. Isn't because of his surname. He's on some all right form, Shane Mosley. I think he won his last fight, which was a 10-rounder. So I know he lost the fight before that. However,
it's a name, it's a money fight, do it in America. So it's a good fight. Obviously, a lot of people might hate it. I don't care. I like this fight for him next. Definitely. He can go for a hard step up, a baptism of fire. If I can beat this guy, then 100% I am ready for a world title next. This could be an Ireland. Callum Walsh, again, the Irish, big, massive boxing fans, come out for their fighters, make it a great show. World title eliminator or something like that. 50-50 fight. Maybe you don't agree with me, but I know they say don't rush, but if the talent's there, why not just test it? Sink or swim. Why not just have a go? That's what I say, because it makes for better fights. And that is why Zuffer's creeping in, because of sometimes politics gets in the way and we don't see 50-50 fights, and it's always let the fight build. We'll both win a world title and then we'll fight each other. Yeah, marinate it, all that bullshit. Just, you're at a decent level, you think you're ready, just fight. Just simple as that. All this marinating and let the fighters bubble and all that stuff. I'm not all for that, but I'm old school. And it's a business, I get it. In times for George Liddell, I'm really pleased for him.
And I think this is like second time I've watched him. I'm really impressed. I like it. Exciting fights for him going forward. And just hope he gets the right fights. What fights do you think he should have?
Telling you to check out Boxing Bros UK.
Boxing Bros UK here in association with Last Bell Boxing. I'm with Mr. Oosh himself. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
You're here at the presser with us?
Yeah, I'm home. I'm home. Yeah,
You're known for your impressions, so let's play an impressions game. I'm going to give you some names, and you're going to spit off some one-liners.
Absolutely.
Okay? Are you ready? This is off the cuff, by the way. He doesn't know the names or nothing. So this is for sure, for real. This is the talent of the guy. Right, we're going to start off. Tyson Fury.
I'll tell you what, very good to be here in Dublin. Very good. I was supposed to be fighting here on Saturday night, but instead I decided to fight in Thailand. That was it. AJ, I'll tell you what, delighted he got through in that second round. I'll tell you what, the first round, I was very, very nervous, to be honest with you. But he got through it. And you and me, AJ, gear top. 14th of November, 7th of November, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care, really, to be honest with you. I fight him now.
Next one, Eddie Hearn.
Well, listen, you know what, it's a massive fight. And you've got Pierce O'Leary and Mark Chamberlain this weekend, absolutely huge. And Katie Taylor is going to, she's sold out Croke Park. It's absolutely mesmerising. It's incredible. That's Jay Byrne there. That's a great guy, by the way.
Right, next one, John Fury.
I tell you what, I love being in Dublin. Great place, full of great people, and I love the boxing scene in Dublin. You've got a man behind the camera there, JB Promotions. He's doing all the work here. He's laying the groundwork. He deserves all the credit in the world. And all the tourists are thinking, what the fuck is that man saying?
Next one, Iron Mike Tyson.
Man, you know, it is what it is. I love Big Bang O'Leary. Big Bang Pierce O'Leary, he's the man, you know. And let me tell you something, he's doing Sarah Street proud. We did an interview with him in Sarah Street. And we had everybody coming up to, we had all of his friends and all that. It was amazing, man.
Last one, Chris Eubanks Sr.
Yes, this place is familiar to me. Very, very familiar. Of course. Now, obviously, this is Dublin. I've been to Dublin a couple of times, but I fought down in Cork, in Mill Street. Cork.
Oh, yes.
Cork is also the home of the great and no-nonsense footballer Roy Keane. Some say he's a national hero, isn't he? This man wanted Roy Keane. Yeah, of course. What are you texting on your phone for? All right. Yeah, you're looking forward to the boxing on the weekend. It should be a bit of fun. Listen, do me a favour.
Oi, God bless. Thank you so much. Can you give a shout out to my channel, Boxing Bros UK?
Boxing, as who? I gotta do.
As whoever you want.
Hey, this is Robert De Niro, and you gotta subscribe to Boxing Bros UK, huh? When are you gonna get a US channel? Get a US channel. That'd be great. We'd love that. That'd be tremendous. Really good. Who did I do there?
Oh, God bless you, man. Thank you, my bro.
Telling you to check out Boxing Bros UK.